Hey, we are live. What is up? My name is Ken. I'm joined today in the Wandering Isles with Ryan as a Madriana, Busy as Hatsu, Rory as Eos, Kyle as Eldrin, Rory also as Eldrin, Kyle as Eldrin, and Richard as Slate. Thank you so much for joining us. We're happy to have you here. Let's bust into it because tonight is going to be action-packed. Kyle, I believe you're on recap today for the first time. Take it away.
Thank you. Eldrin opens his notebook, turns to a new page. He begins to scribe. In a place between moments where dream and memory weave, a lone warrior stirred. Hatsu emerging from Seal's reprieve. Memories lingered like whispers the past couldn't leave. Eos in solitude studied, her spirit reshaped by the unknown. Lingered behind, Dash vowed, scorched wood would burn to the bone. Dressed in thought, a gift to Lissa, more than words could have shown. Reflected in water, in ink, in silence, the weight of a past overthrown. In the quiet of stables, a bond between rider and Pegasus grown. No accident, dawn-marked blood, a truth now fully known. Drawn by riddles and rivers, their journey, by ships set in stride, rushing past Vulcanus, past towers where secrets resides. Over waters of memory, to a place where spirits confide. Sakura drifted in harbors, stone lines in bloom at their side. Kensai stood silent as Saganotoshi opens its gates wide.
Hell yeah, that was nice. Well done. That was actually really good. I like I like that chat. Obviously, Butler Yates.
Thank you, ChatGPT.
Thanks, Kian GPT.
Hey. I had the idea.
We are sans
Thanks
today,
for
actually.
reading it out. Like, you did
Thanks
a great job.
auto-spell. Thanks auto-spell, you mean. Come on, and autocorrect.
We are sans Keen today, but he should be back next week, I believe. He is vacationing with the family. I still think that's a poor excuse. He should be streaming from his phone, but whatever. That's fine. We'll let him away with it this week. But I believe we stopped as we entered the city on your boat. You were about to dock. It took you 5 days of sailing to get to this point, and you are greeted by the city itself, and none happier, I would imagine, than Hatsu Tsuchishugu. Yes,
Name is Toshitsugu.
that's what I said. You heard it wrong. I have a cold, so you hear things wrong. Go ahead and take it away, Hatsu. What is the first thing you're doing when you disembark from this beautiful boat?
So he kind of would jump off the boat immediately.
Mhm.
And he would look for two particular guards that he's supposed to see at the harbor.
There are several guards at the harbor today, because in the coming week, in fact 2 days from now, there will be a festival that people come from far and wide to see. And because of that, things are a little bit busier than you would expect here. There are many boats within the docks. There are many new faces beyond the walls, but there are definitely some guards that you are familiar with.
He would walk up on them and he would bow a little with his right hand in the middle of his chest.
Mhm.
And he would say, "Good to be back home."
The guards are deep in kind of sorting, organization, conversation, and then one of them looks towards you, and the change in their face, Hatsu, and they give you a big warm embrace. The guard is like burly, big dude. It's good to see you again.
Has my father talked to you about our guests?
Yes. We would advise discretion, as always, Hatsu-san. But make your way home. There should be things awaiting you.
Hi. Domo arigatou gozaimashita. And thanks for your work.
Will we see you
And he...
at the tavern?
Not sure in which one you mean. You know, there's certain establishments where I can't be. Not the ones that you guys normally hang out in.
We can go whichever one you want. The Laughing Oni, Storm and Lantern, Jade Super.
Oh, you know where I used to hang out from time to time. It's the Storm and Lantern.
We'll see you there. We'll wear our finer clothes for this endeavor.
I appreciate it. And he would turn back to the group. Well, are you ready?
Those
I think
of
so.
you who can speak Lunas would have understood that full conversation. Those of you who do not would not have understood that conversation at all.
Should I wear my mask, Hatsu?
There's no necessity for this. You are guests.
Oh. Oh, thank you.
If you need to do something before I bring you home, just ask now.
Oh, good. I just want to see your city. Looks amazing.
Well, we should get home first, and then I'm happy to show you the city. There's stuff prepared, so we shouldn't let Mama wait. Trust me, you don't want to let Mama wait.
Okay.
On that, Hatsu, how do we address them?
Well, I guess we start with Madame Toshitsugu and Sir Toshitsugu.
Okay.
We'll
Good.
see how things evolve, I think.
That's fine. I just didn't think Mama was a good starting point.
Hi. But how do you call each other in your hometown? Don't you use your last names?
Honestly, I haven't spoken to people as much as you guys in a very long time.
But if somebody would, let's say, talk to your mother, how would you call her?
Nobody speaks to my mother bar me and my father, as by my father's wishes. But I understand your point. My father, it's usually a case of, Sir, please don't take my head off. Sir, please don't break my nose. Sir, please let me go. So I guess Sir is the common thread there.
I thought his nickname was Don't Break My Nose or something. Oh, I was
mean,
confused for a second.
It might as well be for the amount of noses he's broken. But that's another story.
So I can call him Nosebreaker Blood Fist.
Yes. Yes,
It's a
you
nice
could.
name.
Certainly one of his better monikers.
I guess you can call my mother Weirder of the Swords that slays the gods.
That's quite a mouthful. I'll just go for Madame
Yeah.
Toshitsugu.
Trust me, she breaks more than noses. Well, if you hear the name Kokoro, that's her name. If you hear the name Hashirama, that's my father's name. But you're not supposed to say their names. You can maybe go with Sensei. That would work out as well.
Okay.
But as I said, You are treated as guests. Nobody will cut your head when you do a mistake. You're not familiar with our ways.
Right, lead on then.
The guard just stops Hatsu as he's going, and he says again in Lunas, he just says, just don't go into the lower districts with her unless she wears her mask. The upper districts should be fine.
So he guides them straight home.
Yeah. As you guys make your way through the streets, there's a few things that you sort of note. The first is that there's really this quite nice smell that invokes like almond and rose, maybe. You would quickly pick up, I would say, I think who would notice this? Maybe Eos, maybe Slate. This comes from the trees, the likes of which you've never seen. You've heard of, for sure, because Hatsu's spoken about them before. But these are the sakura trees, the cherry blossom trees. They are pink in nature, and at the moment, the way the leaves are flying through the air, it is the end cycle season for them for the moment. The smell is very strong, and they smell so faintly, but so beautifully of, as I said, maybe a little bit of almond and a bit of rose mix. The streets are kind of lined with the leaves of them, which takes you up and you see people working. It is pandemonium on the streets. There's a lot of people. This is a very busy city. Eos, a lot of eyes fall on you, but nobody's necessarily speaking to you, but you do stand out like a sore purple thumb here. It's a little bit jarring maybe for you. I'm not sure how comfortable Eos feels with it, but it is just something that you would know.
Eos would be walking along, trying to avoid stepping on any leaves because she doesn't know if it's disrespectful or not to crush a leaf. And anytime someone looks at her, she like kind of gestures towards something random that she sees, trying to avoid the eye contact and turning her head as swiftly as possible, just so she feels invisible in a way.
Yeah.
As Hatsu would pick up on that, he would give Ayame a look. She's supposed to be on the last spot in the row, if that makes sense, to kind of save the backside.
Buffer, yeah.
But he would look at Ayame and he would nod, and then he would pick up Eos by grabbing under her arm to kind of guide her.
Oh, like yeah.
And he would say, "There's no need to worry here."
What about the leaves?
Let the leaves be leaves. See them as a carpet, as a
They
welcome.
smell so good.
The only thing
Thank you.
The only thing that transcends the leaves themselves is the smell of a beautiful bakery you're walking past. It is known as the Moonrise Bakery, and it has in the window, it has like rice buns and cherry blossom style pastries, and it seems to be quite crowded and packed. There's a lot of people in there trying to get their fill at the moment. Probably preparing for the coming days, festivals, and some people just want to go in because the smell is unbelievable. There are things that catch some of your eyes. I won't say who specifically. I will let you guys decide what your characters notice. You see things like an armor smith. You see the bakery. You see bookshops. You see Boyers and Fletcher, someone who's making bows and arrows and crossbows and bolts and all that sort of stuff. You see a brewery, carpenters, cartographers, chandlers who make like different types of candles in the window that look amazing. One of which has an Omegaverse symbol on it. You see glass blowers, herbalists. You see inns and taverns, of course, jewelers, and you see a tent that looks rather strange and had a sign over it that clearly says in the common tongue, Mystic. There are stables on the edge of town, which would be suitable for Ducky, of course, as well. There is tailors, there's several taverns and temples and tool makers and even undertakers should you need one. But there is a very crowded and busy city. You would have a hard time rivaling the size or capacity of what's available in Saigo no Toshi outside of something like Palperoth itself. This place is just massive. It goes in tiers. It's not just buildings on a flat surface. There are hills with buildings on it. There's like, it almost looks like a mountain in the center of the town, but it's more like a plateau at the top that has buildings on it as well. The districts are clearly divided, but the districts themselves all look of wealth. None of them look like a poor district or something that you might find in Palperoth. There is no class division here. It is just a very beautiful and well-structured place made of different things, such as there is glass windows, but there's also paper windows. There's sliding doors and normal doors. There's a combination. I say normal doors, doors that you'd be familiar with, but there is, for all intents and purposes, there is something for everyone. Yet everything looks just a little bit strange to each of you, except for Hatsu, of course. The city itself is bustling and busy, and that might be uncomfortable for some of you, and it might be quite comfortable for the others. Hatsu, you would know that this is typical for this time of year. This is the busiest part of Saigo no Toshi's yearly cycle, and in the week before and the week after this is where Saigo no Toshi makes like 80% of its annual revenue, because even though it's a city that makes a good amount of money, this is the crowded time for the city. This is like 8 times the capacity of population for the city. It's crazy how many people stay here. So you're lucky you have a place to stay.
Do you smell that, Eos? This place is called Moonrise Bakery. They produce something like the bread that I gave to you on the ship. Do you remember?
Oh, Hatsu, I remember.
Yeah, but that was my mother's bread. That's a little better, but don't tell them.
Okay.
But if you don't have access to my mother's bread, this is the second best you can get.
Ooh, how many bells for a loaf?
I actually don't know. I never had to pay them.
It's like between 1 and 3. It says it in the window, if that helps at all.
Oh, what was the mystic place? What does that do?
Mystic.
That's what I said. Again, I was looking very quickly.
There's also a shop that you might really like.
Mm-hmm.
Besides the bookshop, I guess. There's a shop that sells candles with specific herbs that help you relax when you have a bath or something.
Oh. So
But I will show you that later. And he kind of starts increasing the frequency of his steps because he can't wait to go home.
Eos is trying to keep up. She has very short legs.
Follow the pink brick road.
While we're going through the town, what's the breakdown of people here?
As in species, or?
Yeah, so
There's Eos, and then there's everybody else. It is not...
everyone's human presenting.
Yeah. Human presenting is a good way of putting it. Like, Eos definitely stands out. A lot of people are noticing and taking in Eos and your group, because it's definitely an eclectic group that you guys walk with, but Eos being the standout, yeah.
Okay, perfect.
As you guys head towards Hatsu's place, you walk down the street that Hatsu you would recognize as your home street, but the others would. This is just another street that you guys are walking down with some really nice houses on it. This street, if we were to say there was a wealthy area in this town, this would definitely be one of them. These houses for the middle of a city are nice. These are big houses. They have a lot of space. They have a lot of things going for them. Very beautiful, well maintained, taken care of. Everything is pristine. Whether that is because, you know, it's a busy season and everybody wants to look their best and keep up appearance at this time, or if that's just an all year round thing, only Hatsu knows. But Hatsu, you suddenly feel a dink on the back of your head, Eos, you notice as you're with him that a little pebble goes tick, 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 tick onto the ground.
Asuka, 100%.
You take a
And
look
he
up.
turns around
Yeah.
and he tries to find her.
Okay, make a perception check for me.
Percepciones.
Oop.
Here we go. Oh, and a 20.
Please tell me that's a nat 20. That's amazing.
Yo.
Unfortunately, for those watching the stream, I clicked the wrong button, and now you're just looking at a logo that says The Wandering Isles. My bad.
It's a net 24, 25.
It is a nat 20 for a total of 25. So, you take a look at the roof of your home. You don't see anything there, so you take a look across the street, and as expected, oops, there we go. There's Asuka standing on the roof with a little smile on her face.
You start to hit things. I like it.
She grabs onto the side of the drain pipe and she just slides down against the wall and then stands next to you. She bows a little bit. Hatsu.
He ignores the bow and she gives her a fat hug.
She is in two minds of either resisting and fighting or just leaning into the hug, and instead she just stands there awkwardly and takes it.
It's almost nice to see you. How's Papaworth have been to you?
That place is different.
I've heard the same.
Did you hear
Why?
that, Dash? It's shit.
I was about
Dash
to
just
say,
shrugs and nods.
well, may I introduce to my Nakama from the Crescent Pearl. This is Eos.
Hello.
She looks towards you and she bows, and she does kind of a deep bow towards you.
This is Amadriana.
Same bow towards you, Amadriana.
She gets a wink.
This is Slate.
I'm gonna do like a top hat gesture, but I'm not wearing a top hat.
Perfect.
And as he does that, Hatsu goes a little closer to Asuka. And he whispers, I think he's the chosen one, but he doesn't know yet. And then he moves on. This is our beach boy, Dash.
She bows, but a little less, and she just mutters under her breath in Lunas. She mutters, Papaworth.
And this is our newest friend. His name is, I think, Eldrin. Eldrin, I think.
I don't take notice that he stutters over my name or maybe chooses to partially forget it, but put my hand on my chest and nod my head.
She nods
Well,
to you and bows to you as well. She gives you all equal bows, yeah. Except Hatsu gets a little bit less, but Hatsu gets that that's a little jab at him, so.
Oh, Ayam is also with us. And, I almost forgot. This is Lissa. She's the brain of Dash and Lissa.
She bows to Lissa as well, and Lissa just awkwardly stands there and like kind of glances around sideways, trying not to pay attention to the bow, unsure what to do. Ayami leans in. Hatsu-san, may I go home? I need to see my family as well.
Hi.
I can meet you all later.
We meet later at our spot.
She nods, and then instead of walking down the street, she lives in a different direction, so she goes up that same drain pipe, like with absolute precision, gets up on the roof, she looks down, sort of waves towards you, and then she's gone like a puff in the wind. Puff of smoke in the wind, I should say.
Not that I disagree, because I tend to spend most of my time on the rooftops as well, but does anyone here actually walk normally?
What is normal?
On the paths that were created for walking. Everyone seems to go up and down the drain pipes.
No, it's just our thing. You know, it's just faster.
I approve, and I also agree.
Well, there's sometimes people that try to use the shortcuts, but when they slip and fall, that's ugly.
Funny.
Does that happen more in the winter, Hatsu, that they slip and fall?
Also through the rains, sometimes the roofs are quite mossy. Depends on the side, you know. They get a little bit mossy on the north side, but you have to excuse me. We really have to go in. Like, Mom is gonna be pissed if she has to wait longer.
Your friend is nice.
As you start to go inside, two things stand out to you, Hatsu. One, the house smells like bread, which is always a good thing. And two, you see Kokoro standing there towards the inside of the house. I thought you would never come in.
Oka-san. And he gives her a super big fat hug.
She hugs you back. It's a good thing to feel a hug like that on any given day, but when it's been so long since you've been home, probably the longest you've been away in a long time anyway, it's extra nice. It feels good to be back. You do notice I'll say a Madriana will notice this. In the back of the main room, that is the entrance and sort of living area of this house, there is a large sort of block of wood that stands out, and it has a space for swords. One of them is empty, the other one is full. Actually, sorry, apologies, they're both empty. I just remembered Hatsu took the other one with him, so they're both empty. It's a very big space to put something, and looks empty. The fact that it's empty and it looks empty is a very strange thing, because why would you build something like this and then put nothing on it? So yeah, you go into Hatsu's house and the meet and greets happen, and you meet Kokoro, which I will bring up here now. That is Hatsu's mother.
So when as Hatsu is introducing us and stuff, and the Madriana's introduced to her, she'll say in perfect lewdness, "Great tidings to you, Madam Toshitsugu. The honor of being here is incredible, and we are most grateful."
She smiles and she lets go of Hatsu, and you get a clear look of her robes, which are white with inlaid sort of red decorations throughout them, and then these gold overhangings which are on them, along with a large head of brunette hair, very, very thick hair. She also has a beautiful head ornament on, which has sort of a shape that would be akin to maybe a dragon, something similar. She smiles and she nods towards you, putting her hands together as she does. The nod turns into a slight bow, but she's also conscious of what she's wearing, and it might go. But she welcomes you in. Thank you for the very formal greeting. What is your name?
I am a Madriana, but you may call me Amy.
Amy. It is nice to meet you. I have to note that and remember that. That's good.
Maybe you can explain, Madriana, how we handle names with certain syllables. because she's quite upset when I call her Amy. She doesn't understand the honor at all.
I've given your mother permission to say that. You still need to wait for yours.
I mean, the honor is... Yeah, forget about it. Before we have a formal introduction, may I suggest you go to your rooms and refresh yourself? I'm pretty sure there's clothes waiting for you, and the proper welcome ceremony will be later.
Before anything can be said, Asuka's like, under her breath, please, no. And Kokoro's like, would you please show them to their rooms? And she's like, Asuka nods and bows respectfully, and she walks through and she pulls open a set of double doors that lead to a stairwell. You guys go upstairs and you find many rooms. On the doorway of several of the rooms are nameplates that are up, and you can find the ones that are written for you. There is Amadriana, there is Eos, there's Eldrin, there's Slate, there's Dash and Lissa. It's already been prepared. Another one catches your eye. Remington. Further down the hall is Hatsu and Boreal, and then Asuka, and then the master bedroom as well. Something that you're really picking up on, I would say Amadriana might even subtly pick up on this. I don't know if it's a direct focus. Could be. You could tell me. But Hatsu's family is like, they're doing okay. Like, they're like, to be in a city of this size and this capacity, in a building of this size with like all of this, they're doing good.
I nudge Dash and I say, I guarantee you they have a fault. But I wouldn't try touching that one either if I was you.
Dash has a hissy fit. Screams a little bit like a girl. He's not here to defend himself. I can do whatever I want.
Just stomps off like a toddler. I want my
He
ice
goes
cream!
he goes into his room and wants to slam the door, but it's made of paper, so he like moves it slowly across.
And you can just see him through the paper, just...
Yeah, you see the silhouette of him just absolutely raging through the paper. The things that you would note about your rooms. Amadriana, your room has holsters for weapons and places to put things. It's designed for you with a style that would be akin to Hatsu and his energy. Eos, yours has a bath and scented candles and a little teapot, but not magical. There's a candle-based, it's like a ceramic that goes around, and you put a candle inside, and then there's a teapot on top of it, and there's a little bag of small candles, tea light candles for you as well.
That's so nice.
Eldrin, your room is predominantly bare, but what you do find is that there are mannequins standing there for you to put your armor onto, so you can release the weight. And Slate, your room is in 4 different parts. It is split equally into 4 different parts. One of them is more like rustic and old and nice like that, and then there's one that's more new and modern and built like that. There's one that's a little bit of stone sort of put into it, and some vibes, and there's one that's more natural, with as in nature. There's like vines and stuff creeping up as well, and it's equally split. The other thing that would be specific to the rooms for each of you is that there are clothes in them. But at this point, I would like to let Busy take over as Hatsu and explain, because he did send a nice letter ahead to warn of and prepare. Warn. I say warn as if like, be careful, they're coming. But like to prepare for things, and I would like to give this to Busy.
Well, now that we're here, I might explain a few things. There's clothes for everybody, in your rooms. Not that I don't like your clothes, but this is a sign of honor and a symbol for everybody that you belong to the Toshitsugu. There's also arrangements that have been made to guide you in several, how can I say, disciplines that might help you and give you an understanding of how we view these things and how we handle these things here, to give you the opportunity to learn from the best that I've learned from. You feel free to see the house, but be respectful of certain things you might stumble upon. We have certain shrines here that are not supposed to be touched, and we have certain rooms that you're not supposed to enter. Just be a little mindful with it. If you cleaned up and if you changed, I'm gonna meet you at the main hall. And if you have any questions, just let me know. I'm right here with Boreal, and I have to say hello, I think. And he bows and he moves off to his and Boreal's room to see if he's there.
You open Boreal's door and you don't find him, but you do find comic books read on the floor. You find robes all over the place. You find scruff and mess to indicate that he has been here, because no way in any form of hell would Kokoro allow that. So he has been around quite recently, but he's not here at the moment.
You hear Hatsu yelling through the whole house. Asuka! Where did he go?
Asuka's door just flies open. Who?
Yeah, who? Who? Boreal.
Am I his mother that you would ask me this question?
He's not supposed to roam around alone.
I don't think he
Is
did.
he with Remington?
Yeah, I think he went with the old man.
Yeah, the purple guy. His name is Remington.
She looks a little
Maleficum.
She looks a little confused.
Maleficum. You should give it a little respect. Please, only for once. He can do things with you you can't imagine.
She just closes her door.
Yeah, so he also goes in his room and cleans up and properly cleans his dress again. And he would kind of make, take care of his sword. Like, very, very, very precise. And he would put Kazejoba in its place downstairs to also show everybody that he's home. And he would specifically have the handle of the side facing towards the left side.
Okay.
Which means, to explain it a little bit further for the players, which means it's times of peace. If he would place it with the handle to the right side, it would mean it's times of war.
There's a wafting smell of bread. The house itself is immaculately clean, bar Boreal's room. And the energy here is very calming. It is, let's see, it is currently, sorry, it's currently about midday. I'm not sure what you guys would like to do.
Can I ask, based off of the fact that this is something that Hatsu had pre-set up for us, what is my outfit like? Like, specifically.
Would you like to take this position?
Well, you have seen the outfit of his mother, Kokoro, right?
Mm-hmm.
So imagine your outfit would be from the style, it would be kind of the same, but without the headgear. But from the color scheme and the fabrics, but your body would look way more sturdy. So you would get the idea that is some kind of leather compound armor under it. And over it, there's this nice fabric with lots of prints that would show something like cherry blossoms and the like. And on your left shoulder, you would find a logo, which you have seen on Hatsu's cloth, actually, which represents a circle with some ornaments on the outside, and in the middle of that, there would be a mountain with some snow around it. You will get the idea that might have been a volcano at some point, but you see all these snowy parts around it and some cherry blossoms touching the border towards the outer ornaments of that circle.
Okay. And does my robe have a place for my wings?
Absolutely.
Okay.
So on your shoulders, there would be like on Kokoro's picture, you can see she has some kind of shoulder pads, but they look more metallic. Yours would look like a little bit more fabric, and they would go like in a V shape, like outwards to bolster the shoulders a little bit. And behind that would be something like an area where your wings could be enclosed, but wouldn't hurt as much as you were feeling in normal clothes that you were wearing before. So it looks more like it's the style of that area, but it would leave you room to leave your wings there a little bit more relaxed than you normally used to.
Okay. And sorry to ask so many questions, but just so I know,
I love these questions.
Is there a mask? Is there, like, if she don't want to wear this outfit and then she's got this metal faceplate on? So
Yes,
is there something to cover her?
Yeah, if you wish to, he could arrange something, but his thought process was the mask is part of yourself, like his mask would be. So there is nothing that would replace that, if that makes sense.
Okay, no, that's fine. That's perfect. Yeah.
That's very nice. So, what does everybody want to do, or does anyone have any questions for Master Hatsu about his home?
I have a couple of questions.
He opens a scroll and it like bounces off the floor.
The room that I'm in obviously is split into the quarters that we mentioned. You know, when you went down the hall, I would have gone in and almost like a museum walk from corner to corner, just looking at each corner and taking in the different elements, materials, design choices. I assume that, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is what I'm looking for, to see that everything in here is natural, handmade, not magical. So it's proper stone, proper wood, hand carved. That type of thing is what I expect. That's what I think that I'm seeing. So when I'm walking around, I'm sort of taking a closer look at, the craftsmanship, but actually the earthly materials, for lack of a better way of putting it. So I just want to confirm that there's no magical essence or anything that would give away that anything in there is magic.
I want 2 checks from you. So one is investigation and one is arcana, please. Don't get enough arcana checks. You have to do them more. Especially when you're in a magical school. This should come up more. Of course, your first trip away is when the arcana check comes up. 17 for investigation. Okay, so starting there, each of the 4 quadrants, you can tell upon closer inspection that each of the 4 quadrants makes sense for the room that they're built into. Someone has just decorated each quadrant very nicely. It's not like it's like stone replacing wood. It's like light stone on top of wood. For example, the vines are brought in. They're not grown here naturally, so forth, so on. But if I can get the Arcana check from either.
Yeah. I think it's just frozen for me.
Oh dear. Just make up a number. No, okay, hang on 1 second, let me look.
Just gonna refresh it quickly. It's all locked up.
Seems to be working for me. So, okay. I'll just give you a second. In terms of the rest of the room, each of the things you can tell is very meticulously placed with a lot of thought in mind. The room itself is very well coordinated and decorated in a way that things just make sense and flow nicely into it. It doesn't seem overburdened with items or decorations or anything. It just feels natural. It's still not working? No, okay. We'll take a look at that.
Same thing, frozen again.
All right, let me have a quick look. Okay, I'm just going to do an Arcana check for you, if that's okay, using Slate. So that was 7. So the Arcana, it's hard to tell if anything is magical in that sense, like as in, like, is this a magically created item? No, but was this placed here manually or through magic? They were placed manually. Everything has little pins in it and things holding it up, although they're hard to see because they're well decorated. It would be...
There's no glowing orbs or anything, you know, in my face, obvious.
Nothing of the sort, and this entire house follows that same guidance. This is a very manual place. Like, everything is labored.
And from the boat to the house in the room, what is the general temperature of the area?
At the moment, it's a little bit colder, probably because of the time of the year. Wouldn't be as cold as Maleficum's, but it is certainly, and it's definitely not Penzance cold. You're good. Like, but this is, you know, like it's like between 1 and 5 at the moment. I'd say Celsius for. Yeah. It's not freezing, but it's cold. Like, yeah.
Yeah, but for me, this isn't cold, so don't say this is like a warm breeze.
Oh, you're that guy walking in shorts and a t-shirt, and it's like snowing and stuff. Yeah.
That's where I'm going with this. So with the robes, can I understand a little bit about what they look like? So when I pick them up, or if they're laid out, when I view them,
they're folded.
What am I seeing? Yeah. So then I would be picking them up and holding them out and
shake
just...
them. I'll go back to Biz if he wants to take it.
So you unravel the clothes, and what you would recognize is that they would look a little bit more like Hatsu's clothes would look like. They're not the same. Basically, they also represent something about Slate. So for the first glance, they are just black. But if you like shift it a little bit in the light, you will see that it has like a dark blue purplish tint to it, depending how the light moves on it. And that should also represent that it's not only one thing, you can be more things at the same time. But on the other hand, it gives you a little bit of a tiny advantage at night times, because most people think the night is pitch black, but it really isn't. So there's always a little bit of light coming from the moon, from the stars, whatever. So it's never really pitch black. And these clothes represent that. And you will also find the Toshitsugu clan logo on the left side on your arm.
So when you say on my arm, are we talking here or here? So is it forearm or kind of shoulder? Shoulder.
On the shoulder, yeah. But it's like, it's not a small one. It's a little bit bigger, so it goes over, like almost over biceps and triceps, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So with Hatsu's clothes, if I remember, it strikes me that on his arm isn't just a normal sleeve all the way down. There's something here, isn't there? So is that on mine, or is it just a normal sleeve?
That is on yours as well.
So,
and when you would wear it, you would feel that this section, the lower section of the arm, is reinforced. And you get the idea that it's a very hard material layered inside that might be some protection if somebody, let's say, tries to cut off your arm while you're holding a sword.
So, having seen the effort and the care that was put into this, since any of you have known Slate, this is the most things he's had in a room that was called his. So for him, it's a massive gesture. But even the cold stone and the living vine, that kind of stuff would speak to him. So he would take time to calm himself, calm his mind, be still in the room. I wouldn't go so far as to call it a meditation as people would normally call it, but a mindfulness. And then from there, he would take considerable time to, like somebody going to a gala or a ball, thinking about getting into a tuxedo. It's, making the best first impression, and he would take some time to meticulously clean, groom, prepare. When he puts the robes on, although they're meticulously made for him, as a style choice, he chooses to ride the sleeves up as far as they will go, and the collar that goes down here, that I presume it folds over, that's slightly open, and it's kind of like for airflow and circulation, because the cold air is what he's used to, the cold is what he likes. So trapping in all the heat, the last thing he wants to do is be like sweating in a monkey suit. So for him, it's rolling up the sleeves, letting the air circulate, but it also, for lack of a better way to explain it, it's like a Akuma Ken Ryu type of that type of way, kind of a loose fit is what I'm trying to say, rather than a completely skin tight fit. And then he's going to take some time with his forgery kit, and I'm going to ritually cast comprehend languages to try and settle in, knowing that thus far I've heard a language I don't understand, I see symbols that I don't understand, and knowing that I do all of my preparation to get ready first, and then when I think we're nearing the time to be leaving, I go to do that first after doing everything else, and then I get ready, so then I have at least an hour of that to fully take in the splendor of what's being prepared, who's there, what's happening, and to try and get a grasp of what's ahead.
Perfect. So we've talked about this before, but just in case someone is joining us new, I just want to quickly break this down. In game, I have roll tables, which is where you roll random dice and items appear. I use that system for our stores in game. So custom items can be done through RP, but there is a base table of like everything, like weapons and armors and clothes and whatever. For the players who are here, I'm currently opening that in store. You should be able to see it in the in-game chat there, so you guys can go ahead and do what you want to do. But for the moment, I will borrow Eos and Hatsu, if that's okay. I want to know what robes that Eos has, if that's okay.
Okay, when Eos opens her bundle with the robes, she would see like an outfit that would be beautifully made, kind of the same way as Amadriana's, but on her she would see more earthy tones, so it's kind of not as dark as Slate's would be, not as bright as Amadriana's would be. It is something in between. It's like a grayish tone with like brown ornamentals on it, and she would see some little moon symbols on that, and she would also see kind of floral strokes with little cherry blossoms, but they are not as present as on Amadriana's clothes. And it would look more like a sports suit, a noble sports suit, if that makes sense. And you would also see that the dress is in two parts. So you would have like an upper part that goes right under the knees, but on the sides it would have like a slit that would separate the backside from the front side. And there would be something like pants, but they are a little bit more wider. And there would be like a fabric made belt. And you would get the idea that you have to use the belt in a specific way to not make the pants fall down. But inside of the let's say the upper inner part of the legs would be very heavily reinforced with cotton and a leather sheath above it. And like to a degree that if you just let the pants down, it would stand on these reinforced areas by itself. And I'm pretty sure it would be very familiar to Eos in which type of sports somebody would have these kind of reinforced legs.
Eos is a big hurling fan. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Okay. To me, that sounds somewhat like I'm going to check, correct me if I'm wrong with the pronunciation. I think in Japan it's called a hori or something like that.
Hi.
Yeah. Yeah, as Eos opens up the package, she's stunned and amazed what she's looking at. She's shocked in awe of the craftsmanship into the clothing. She stands there for a while, so after coming out of her nice hot bath and is looking at it carefully, and she's feeling the seams. Just she's never experienced this quality of workmanship and clothing in general. As we know, she's used to wrappings. Her pants are literally made of cloth wrappings, goes up from her toes all the way to her hips, and then she wears layers of grey and black for the most part, in addition to her maroon scarf. So slowly she puts it on. She's struggling a bit with the belt. She doesn't understand what belts are, but she figures it out in time. She walks around.
I would say, as she does, Asuka would casually run along the floor to her room, and she would see her struggling with the belt, and she would show you, like basically she shows you that you start with the middle part from the front, and then you would go around and cross the both parts on the back and bring them back front. And then she makes like a little gentle knot on the front side. And then she would bring one side through the whole thing, and she makes a knot again. And then she would tell you something like, and there's also room for a dagger.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Asuka. My name is Tintriok Ekdikisi. You can call me Eos. I'll never be able to do this again.
Absolutely. And then the last one I'll go with is Mr. Eldrin, because I'll take Dash's robes. Don't worry. What kind of robes would Eldrin see?
Aldrin. Okay. What he would see is a very, very, very simple robe. It is white, and in addition, you would see something like an enormous scarf that is like a loop, you know, and you get the idea that you would wear this over one shoulder and it would hang down on the other side. And it's colored orange, like a really bright orange. There's no pockets, there's no belts, there is nothing.
Why do I get the feeling that Boreal would have worn this outfit a lot, and it's like the dancer's outfit or something like that?
You will figure out for what it is.
I am the peasant robe. Yeah, in my room. Yeah, I'm assuming I'm in my room now. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
If you want to be.
Absolutely. Yeah. When I'm going into my room, it strangely feels homely. It may, to some eyes, may seem quite bland, quite boring, quite bare bones, but reminds him of home. Reminds him of the subtle, simple lifestyle that he had with his parents. Didn't live a lavish lifestyle. They weren't poor. They lived in a nice part of the city, but they didn't live above their means. They lived in a style that often went under the radar. Very well, actually, went under the radar. And being home a lot, not doing much. He didn't get up to many things, so he never really had many things to play with, do much other than his books. So having his diary with him, having somewhere to lay down his armor, it felt very welcoming to him. Again, to some ways it may not have felt or seen like it was much going on, but to him it felt completely room of requirement for him.
Perfect. Yeah. Absolutely. And not only that, but it's like it's like you said, it's a flavor of home. Like, that's probably the best way to put it. You nailed it. Like, there's not much to add there, but it is for all of you something familiar in a place that's unfamiliar, and I think that's where the magic comes from. Hatsu, if they could see you smile, they would know you're smiling. When you see Dash, who is wearing what can only be described as like festival robes for children, in a larger scale, but you would very rarely see this on an adult or anything like that. This is definitely something that is, the locals will know, at least, that this is mostly something that children would wear, in particular.
We need to get him some juggling balls.
For sure. But as the day goes on and as you guys are exploring the markets and doing things, you'll notice that several kids do walk by with similar outfits to Dash as well. No adults, mind you, but kids for sure. Alyssa looks amazing. Her robe is a variation of the outfit she normally wears in the colors that normally suit her, which is quite nice. And Asuka is just wearing her normal armor at the moment. She hasn't changed into anything.
Before we meet up for the lunch or afternoon or whatever it is that we're doing, I'm assuming Hatsu would have made sure I had a room with a window.
You all have windows, yeah.
So
You're on, like,
opening the window and
outskirts.
opening the window and looking out. She's gonna whistle for Albie, and obviously he'll come and land next to her and stuff.
Just comes and lands on the window and just starts like pecking a little bit at the frame.
Yeah, I just give him a stroke and stuff. Have a wander around, will you? I'll be keeping an eye. And then she'll sit back with her back against the window so she can feel the breeze coming through. And she's got out her notebook that she normally has on her and her pencil. And essentially I'm going to be looking through Albie's eyes. And she's drawing a basic map of the city. And like
Easily done.
marking like this area, like very busy. This area, a little bit more quieter, a little bit more back alleys. Like she's working out essentially an escape plan.
Right.
She likes to know that wherever she is, she knows she can get around without trouble.
Yeah, it makes sense. You like to know the ins and outs of everything. That makes perfect sense. Yeah, you take your time doing that while Dash takes his time drawing Albie flying around because he thinks it's a different bird in the city. So he's sitting at his window just drawing Albie as Albie flies little circles and sort of concentric kind of shapes. Yeah, that's easy enough. As the time moves on, by the time you guys are all kind of settled and stuff, it's closer to about 2 p.m.-ish. And at that point, I would say hunger is probably setting in a little bit for you guys because it's been a long journey. You've mostly just eaten rations, and the house smells like bread.
On the floor, you're gonna hear like... And Hatsu is running around because he can't find his father, and for representative reasons, it's very important that he's around. So he moves to his mother and he says, Oka-san, where's Oto-san? I think our guests are ready and kind of want to start.
He wanted to be back by now, but he had to go to a few meetings, and he escorted your brother and your friend to out towards the stables. There were a few people he had to meet up with there. I know he was meant to be back by now. I'm not sure.
So what should I do? Should I wait, or?
I would suggest you take your friends to the city, and before we have dinner together this evening, we will do the formal introduction.
I make sure they don't eat that much.
Good luck.
So he runs back. He runs back. And he goes like... He's like knocking on each door like... He's... Nakama! Before we have dinner, my mother advised me to show you the city if you wish to see it.
Sure.
Yeah, so each of you come peeking out as Hatsu says this.
My name's Eos, not Nakama.
Nakamador. Sorry.
Voice in the sky, how dare you?
Sorry, take my inspiration away.
Well, not you are Nakama. We all are Nakama. Hi. You should know. Have you never been in a Nakama?
No, maybe not.
Well, it is a group of interest and friendship within that interest. It can be your training group or your study group. You know.
This is new to me, Hatsu. I was homeschooled.
Hi. So this is Nakama. This is your family when you're not with your family.
Hatsu, look at this. Thank you.
Looks great on you.
So much room.
I'm guessing he wasn't talking to you, Dash.
I don't know what you're talking about. I think I look dapper, and he like fixes his jacket or his robes, the lapel of his robes.
You just hear Hatsu behind his mask like, I love you, Mom.
I must say,
Well,
Hatsu, this is much more freeing than my usual attire.
I like to hear that. It's yours. Feel free to wear it whenever, wherever.
We get to keep these.
Hi.
Hatsu.
It's a gift.
Thank you.
Man, Dash's mum is going to be so mad at the quality of this.
So could you see the stitching in the seams?
I'm pretty sure she would be familiar with these kind of works.
It has pockets for daggers.
Well, I'm not sure if your pants will survive, but the upper dress might be.
Yeah, I do have short legs.
Well,
Before we go out into the city, Hatsu, would it be considered rude or disrespectful if I carry my blades?
You shouldn't carry your blades, but you're also a guest.
No, I don't want to upset just because I'm a guest. If it's better not to, I won't.
Let's phrase it that way. If you're not on guard duty, it's not very well received if you do. But nobody has something against concealed weapons. For self-defense purposes. And your guests.
I'll leave my swords here, but my other 20 weapons I'll keep on me then.
Hi.
20.
It's just the RoboCop suit up scene with like clicking sounds and all sorts of things just adjusting as weapons get put in the place.
Oh, when she says 20, she means 22. She also has 2 daggers concealed on her hips.
There's always the secret ones.
Because the Madriana is the true weapon.
I agree.
Thought you meant the hands.
Yes.
Never mind.
Let me buy you dinner, my dear.
Oh, chicken wings, please.
Yes, but we mustn't spoil our dinner for tonight.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
We can have 2
You
chicken
don't want to
wings.
make Mom angry when she did cook the whole day, trust me.
She cooked the whole day.
And Aldrin, you're not supposed to eat anything but power balls. Just that you know.
Apologies.
I'm gonna show you how these are made so you can prepare them for the day.
I have to throw my jelly in the bin.
Slate, as you're out in the hallway, you kind of look back as you hear a sound and you look over at Chicken the Fox, but instead of consuming chicken, it is consuming Powerballs.
Slate
I am ready
after-
to also eat not chicken balls. Oh dear, chicken. I am so sorry.
Eldred orders a 3 in 1.
Stay away
Spice
from-
bag for what?
Yeah, yo, Ma, you got a spice bag.
Sorry, what was
Susan, apologies.
Slate, after hearing, the different conversations and the thank yous about the robes and we can keep them and about the weapons, hasn't said anything yet. Just gestures like, 1 second, goes back into his room and spends 2 or 3 minutes hurriedly trying to fold his hand crossbow and, his little dagger and stuff into his stuff, not relinquishing them at all, but just trying to make it more acceptable looking because it was said they can be concealed. So it just takes a moment to do that. The rapier obviously is long and thin. So for this one, if it has a little guard on it, I have a couple of different tools and stuff. I want to see if I can disassemble the guard so it just becomes a handle with a blade with no guard on it if it's possible to disconnect the guard, and therefore it would be effort to take it out, but I can conceal it within the clothes to take it out later, but it would just be a lot slower. It wouldn't be something that could be done quickly.
No worries.
But because it's long and thin, it wouldn't stand out as being there. That's the idea.
Well, I get the impression that he's like a little bit stiff on one on his legs. That would be fucking hilarious.
He just limps. Yeah, is there anything else you guys want to do before you head out?
It's a beautiful house, Hatsu.
Albie's on watch above.
No worries. Absolutely fine.
Well, it was built by my grandfather, who did spend a lot of time helping to create this place, or let's say further advance, not fully built. His name is Sasaki Toshitsugu. You will maybe meet him at some point. I'm not sure.
Oh,
He's a very busy man.
understandably.
How old is he, Hatsu?
That's a really good question. I mean, he was already old when I was young. But in your
Do you mean you were old as
years,
well?
I don't
That's
know
just
what
like-
old means.
That's just like 25, Major.
Exactly.
Are we the same age?
Oh, how's just like 26, Major?
Oh, okay.
So how old is
I
your
think-
grandfather?
He might be in his 70s, 80s.
Doing well then.
Oh yeah, he is. I can't compete with him.
Maybe one day.
Oh man, he is fast as lightning. Literally. It's scary.
And he do the jump and land thing like you? Did he teach you that?
Oh no, that is new. And I wish they don't know, you know?
Apologies.
Thank you. You will learn a lot about this in the next few days.
I purposefully choose not to speak and I just silently nod.
Oh yeah.
Well, are we good to go?
Yes. Show us the sights.
Shall we go the easy road or the roofs?
I still have Ducky, but I can leave him here.
Oh, we can bring him to the stables if you want to.
You wouldn't mind.
So let's go to the stables first then. But roof or road?
I
I'm
know which I'd prefer.
usually a road man myself.
Well, okay. And as they start moving, Hatsu would also give Aldrin something like, it looks like a traditional teacup, but a little bit bigger. And he would hand it to him and he would say, well, if we walk the streets, just place that in your left hand and place your right hand right here.
Okay.
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 And no matter how good it smells, don't eat it.
Oh dear. Okay.
Aye. And he starts moving like you've never seen him moving before. It's normally you would see him like he's very tensioned and very observing, but you would see him moving like he would have lost 100 kgs of weight easily. He walks like he's like a feather. He's almost, you know, with such an ease you have never seen him before.
You can tell by the way that Hatsu walks that the city is familiar to him. He knows the places to go, the places to avoid, how to move. He knows how the people move in this city. He knows how to just slip in and out of a crowd. So your first stop is the stables, is that right?
Correct, sir.
So on your way up, the first thing you'll find is the stables themselves. They are absolutely massive. When I say they've got 100 horses, I might be underguessing. Underguessing, because the stables themselves aren't just home to the local horses. They're home to the horses that the guards use when they're patrolling, and that the Kensa use when they are going on missions elsewhere. So the horses here are well kept. This is the Stormhoof stables. It is known for breeding incredibly swift and disciplined horses. A lot of messengers use them as well when going to other areas in Ouroboros, outside of the just Saikonotoshi itself. But they are well kept here. Ducky will be in good company.
So does their family own these stables?
This is the general stables. Some have some arrangements in their backyards, especially the very expensive horses. But for visitors and the guards, they are around here. So we have people that feed the horses and brush them and take them out for a walk.
Wow.
He will have a good time here.
Okay.
He will make some friends, I would say.
Hopefully.
Maybe they can tell him a lot about this place as well.
I'll ask him when we get back.
Why?
Some might say
we shouldn't do this here when everybody can see it, I guess.
That's a good point.
We're going to see a matron?
Some might say, yes, they might be neighbors.
I regret asking. That was actually pretty good.
So, where should we do this, Hatsu?
He looks around, and as he would get the impression that nobody would watch closely, he would cast darkness on themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, can't see the lid.
Tip.
Can't see the lid.
And it's one focus point.
No problem.
All right. Well, I know you can't see right now, but he kind of moves her a little bit to a space where Ducky could fit when he comes out. It's like, this is just nobody sees that shit.
I appreciate it. Are you ready,
I want to
Hatsu?
go to prison. Aye.
Okay. You have prison? Okay, we'll talk about that later. Ducky, you in there?
If you could see the smoke, there would be smoke. You do just feel the presence and hear the horse next to you.
Runik, are you okay? How was it? She's just rubbing.
If you remove darkness, Hatsu, Eldrin, you're standing face to face with Ducky, like just real close. Yeah, like palm pressed to the face.
If I'm that close to Ducky, if I have a hand free, because I know I'm holding a mug right now, I just slowly rub his face and then move away and just say, "Sorry to invade your space, little friend." And I slowly edge away, being oh so careful that I don't spill any of the container that I have, the mug.
No worries.
Hatsu would actually grab in his jacket, like the upper part of his robe, and get out 3 power balls and like hand them towards Ducky's mouth. And he would say, "You're very welcome at Saiga Notoshi." And he would kind of offer him to eat.
He'd eat them. For sure.
Ducky? Ducky would, yeah, probably take the powerballs. At least one of them, for sure. With curiosity.
You're so kind to Ducky. So nice. Okay, Ducky. We're going on adventures. You make friends and we'll be back, okay? Just keeps petting him.
Oh, you guys will meet back up tomorrow morning. Special, like 6, I think.
When
Right
he
after
served you for
sunrise.
breakfast.
Oh, it's before breakfast.
Oh, that's right. You wake up before breakfast. That's right. Yeah.
No. You gonna wake up before breakfast. And Ducky as well.
Oh, I'm so sorry,
You
Ducky.
will have a great time.
Is this why we will only eat power balls to have?
No. You
Hatsu
will
energy?
only eat power balls, and you gonna.
Oh,
I think you won't sleep for a week or something.
oh
I
dear.
might be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure.
If I can run like you, then okay. Yep. Okay, yeah. We'll deal with the lack of sleep. I may become more awkward. I hope not.
I don't know. I'm not in charge, but when I remember back from my experience, I think I didn't sleep for a week. I think I never slept at all, to be honest. But it
I've
might be
never-
different for you.
I don't want to get more anxious with lack of sleep.
It's okay.
But I'm
Arjun.
interested to try a ball. But if Ducky is okay to eat it, I feel I'll be okay to eat it. If Ducky's awake
Well,
for a
you-
week, then at least I'll have someone to talk to.
Okay, here's what we do. I'll give you 1. But you have to decide if you eat it now or when we all have dinner.
Ooh. I don't want to upset your parents, your
Oh,
mother.
no. Oh, no. They will give you everything you want to eat. But your sensei will be very pissed if you show up tomorrow and you vomit something that is not a Powerball.
I take the Powerball instantly, and I just
It is incredibly filling in a way you wouldn't have expected.
Oh dear.
It's a small Powerball, but it feels like you've just eaten a full meal.
oh no.
It's good,
Andrew,
right? I
have
live
you
off of
never-
it since like almost 10 years, I think.
How
I
often do
think-
you sleep, Eldrin?
I think I could. I think I could sleep right now. This is yeah. Power nap, power ball. Yeah. I feel energetic, but full stomach makes me sleepy. Yeah, for sure. How often do I sleep?
Yeah.
Like every night. What the is? Do you sleep?
Never.
Have you?
Sleep is for the
Dash
weak,
you.
Eldrin.
Yeah.
Oh,
I just realized that Eldrin has the
Gosh.
itis, like from Boondocks. He has like the food fatigue. He's just like super tired because he ate.
Dash watched me sleep one night, so he doesn't
You
sleep,
trust-
and you
Hmm?
don't sleep, but Major Anna doesn't
Where
sleep.
did Dash watch you
am
sleep?
I the only one
Dash
that
does sleep.
sleeps?
Dash
Dash-
does sleep.
Why did he? Have you ever watched me sleep?
Yes.
That's haunting.
That's normal for Major Anna. Don't worry about it.
At
That's
least
doesn't
she
sleep.
knows I'm not dangerous in my sleep. I might just mutter or
You do new.
I'm pretty sure you're not dangerous when you're awake.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
Ducky.
Sensei will show you that it's dangerous to sleep. I'm pretty sure about that. I have some scary memories.
Yeah, Dash watched me. That's haunting, Hatsu. That's. Are you okay? That sounds like a lot.
Oh, you will be fine.
Oh, okay. Major Anna, not dangerous when I'm awake? Please.
Gotta stoke the fire somehow.
You know how to stoke the fire. I don't want to hurt people. And I'm sorry that I hurt you, but you did hurt me. You stabbed me.
Oh, don't you dare be sorry for hurting me.
You bought that on
Good.
yourself, Eldrin.
I thought I got a free pass getting into school and skipping a trial, and that was great and everything. And next minute, stabbed in the back. It's the most hurt I had been in years, apart from emotional stuff. But that's fine.
The trial
you
never
mean-
ends.
We need to work more on the emotional hurt? Okay, it's good to know. Cool.
That's what
Oh,
mental
he's
shielding
gone.
is for.
He's gonna work on the emotional part, I promise.
Remington promised no emotional damage.
Remington lied.
Yeah. So, Hatsu, is Asuka like your sister or a friend or?
Well, let's say destiny combined our ways somehow. She's kind of my sister, but she kind of isn't, if that makes sense.
Same way that Ayame is just a friend.
No.
I think I've read books about this before, Eos. They could be friends.
What's wrong with your fingers?
I'm trying not to insinuate, but they could be close friends.
He really needs to go to the temple, Hatsu. There's something wrong with the child.
To be absolutely precise, she is my sister, and you don't talk about her like that.
Fight music just started.
I meant no disrespect. This power ball is giving me the jitters.
Walk it
I need
off,
to
Eldrin.
hold this. I need to hold this tea with respect and not make it fall.
Well, don't
That's
worry,
so
later on it will give you the
please.
shitters too.
I thought Dash was the only one that tried to make sarcastic jokes. He's rubbing off on you and Major Anna.
No, Major Anna's been putting Dash in his place since day one.
I hope that place isn't beside my bed because both of them have watched me sleep. And if that's the place, then I need to find a new bed.
Where are you actually staying? Because first you were below my tower, and then apparently you were in Dash's
At this
house.
point,
Bed.
I'm ready to
He was
ask.
in Dash's bed, so that's obviously where Dash watched him.
At this point, I'm ready to ask Remington, can I sleep under his desk? Because that might be a safe place.
Explains how you got into the Arcanum.
With that,
And with that, yes.
Ryan and I both just jumped straight into it. With that, so you spot Artis May, the person who runs the Stormhoff stables at the moment, in lieu of the previous trainer leaving.
Did you say Stone Puff?
Storm Huff.
Stormhuff. If he said Stone Puff, I was like, sounds like a breakfast cereal.
So Artis May or Artis Mai would be the person who currently runs the stable. Hatsu, your previous trainer, you're aware anyway, and you were aware, is no longer here technically at the moment. So
I kind of would bow down a little bit, and he would say, "Well, this is Ducky, our new guest. Would you mind keep a good eye on him?"
hi, Master Kanzawa is back in the city for the celebrations. I believe you were looking for him. He will be here tomorrow, 6 as you requested.
Hi. And our beautiful Eos here will be there at 6 as well. Can you make sure that our friend Ducky is ready at that time?
Hi. They look at Eos and their eyes go wide for a second, and then they just correct themselves. They realize like they bow a little bit, like apologies.
It's
Yes.
okay.
I will have them ready, and I will of course have Master Kanzawa's steed ready as well. Eos, good luck.
Thank you.
They take the reins of Ducky and they start leading them into the stables.
Was that fear or surprise?
You can make an insight check.
So 14 rolled for a 16 total.
Ooh. A little both. Less fear, more surprise, but there's definitely elements of fear in that too. This is not the norm, but also she's branded with the Toshitsugu clan, so that was where her eyes went.
Okay.
Well, we also need to get something for you, Eos. You will need it tomorrow.
Oh?
Yeah. Something you don't have yet.
Okay. You keep giving me gifts. I don't know what to do.
Just use them.
Okay. She looks at a distance, so confused.
Hatsu would lead them back towards the city side, and he would stop at a particular shop where it would state in a common language sign under something you might not be able to read. It would say the silent arrow. And he would kind of make a step in. He would bow a little bit, and he would say, "Masako Sensei."
Hatsu-san, it's good to see you. It's been a
Hi.
long time since you've graced my hallways.
Good to be back. Well, I'm also out for studies, and I haven't been home for a while, so sorry that I didn't tell you. It was a little bit of a rush when I left.
Of course. Are you keeping well? How is your family? How are your parents? How's your sister?
Oh, they are good. Nice that you asked. What about your family?
It's been good. It's been good. Business has been good this year.
Oh, I have something I want to show you. Somebody made it in a little small town for me. He's quite exceptional. And he pulls out his bow, Ayaka. And he, like, very respectfully presents it to him, and he bows like a little bit while he's doing it.
He respectfully picks it up and he like weighs it and sort of looks at it, pulls back a little bit. He leans behind the counter, takes out an arrow, he points at a target and just gets a bullseye like that, like it's nobody's business. Very well weighted, good pull. Very good
I
weapon.
know it's not the type of bows that you usually do, but these, I got told, they're better for using on horses. And I have a request.
Mm-hmm.
I have a friend here. Her name is Eos.
Mhm.
She's about to get trained tomorrow. And I think Sensei Kanzawa needs her with a bow like this.
Yes, we can do that. Absolutely. Did you want the
I know.
usual, the Toshitsugu clan sign on it, or?
Hi.
Yeah, we can do
But
this.
I don't want to make you trouble, Sensei, but she needs it at 6 tomorrow morning. Is that somehow possible? If not, I'm gonna borrow her my bow.
I think we can do this. I mean, we have a lot of Yumi here, but yes. Can you come back to me in an hour?
Hi.
I can do this.
Thank you so much. And he bows down.
He bows
like a
too.
little bit deeper that he would normally do. Just for the inconvenience, he feels a little bit, you know.
He bows and then he quickly hurries off and he just starts working on different types of sort of bows that are already here but aren't properly stringed yet or any of that or decorated yet. Yep.
And then he would guide them to another shop. And under a sign that not all of you might be able to read, it says in common, it says Golden Wick. And he moves in, like very polite, and he bows down like a little bit. It's like, excuse me. I'm looking for a gift for a friend. He is going to the temple tomorrow. And I feel like after a long day, he might need something to help him rest.
Yeah, we have prayer candles over there and a lot of different types of relaxation candles over there. And they point to both. In the store list, you'll find this place, and there is tons of candles. Possibly hundreds, maybe thousands.
Thank you so much.
Nods and bows to you and just lets you continue shopping while they keep sort of sorting out candles. You hear them mutter under their breath, "Oh, another 6 crates of this before I can go home."
And then he goes like, so we got this stuff for Eldrin, we got this stuff for Eos, Gigi will bring this stuff for Slate, and Amadriana already has her stuff. I think we good. Do you want to go somewhere specific?
You notice that Dash and Lissa have already wandered off as well. They're not here.
I wonder if we might not take a tour of the rooftops at some point. I want to stretch my legs a bit.
Go ahead if you want. Look, there is a very specific roof that will lead east to a big ceremony hall. You can't miss it when you're on the roofs. Ayame might already be there, if you're lucky. She can show you around the roofs.
Rightio. Catch you in a bit. And having already mapped out where we are from earlier, I'm gonna dip into the closest alley and just Jackie Chan it, like up the wall and on the rooftop. And yeah, I'm gonna jump around the rooftops for a little while, kind of get bearings.
Yeah.
Listening to conversations, kind of get the vibe of the place, and eventually try to find the army if she doesn't find me first.
No problem.
And
May I interrupt this?
yeah.
Well, Adriana would like trying to pick up on stuff and such a thing. She would pick up that 2 guards would talk about the Toshitsugu Vault. And that they are ordered to keep a specific, like, how could I say, a more strict eye on it, because there are guests that might have sticky fingers.
Okay. Do I find out where it is? Like, did they mention where?
No.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
When you go back again to the bow, to the Fletcher and Bowyer, is what they're called. You have a beautiful big bow waiting for you. Like, it's a long bow, but like it's a long bow. Like, this is a big bow. Beautiful, absolutely well designed. It has the same symbol that you have on your sleeve, Eos. It has it on the bow itself. There's wraps around it and everything, and it comes in a sort of wrapped silk fabric all the way around it to keep it safe and protected, along with 20 arrows. Mr. Toshitsugu-san, this is a gift from us for all the service that your family has done for us over the years. I thank you.
Domo arigatou gozaimashita, but you know this is not necessary, Sensei.
It's the New Year cycle. It is good to give when you can. This is something that we had here anyway. Maybe we never sell it, so this is something that can be used for good.
So he takes it with both hands and he bows like very deep and he says, Domo arigatou gozaimashita, Masako Sensei. This will not be forgotten. And with that gesture, he comes up and hands it over to Eos in the same fashion.
Dori, I'm gonna go to Mitsubishi, Mr. Hatsu.
Well, we talk about a thank you when you come back from training tomorrow.
Thanks. This is way too much.
This will make a strong bond between you and Ducky, I promise.
How do I repay you, Hatsu? I don't have pockets.
But you can read.
Yes,
You pay me back with knowledge. I try to give you knowledge. You give me knowledge.
Okay. It's a pretty big bow.
Yeah. Might be easier if it's shorter, but you might learn faster if it's this kind of bow.
Oh.
You will figure it out tomorrow.
Hopefully. It's exciting.
And he would give over some candles to Eldrin as they leave the shop. These might help you with your training. They kind of help you to focus and to relax. And I promise you will need it.
Okay. Thank you, Hatsu-san. I greatly appreciate these. And I bow my head.
Slate has been walking along with everybody, but with his notebook out. Just making little notes, jotting things down, looking around, and as this interaction is happening with the candles, I wait until it finishes, and I just say to Hatsu as I lick my fingers and start turning back some of the pages, we passed a shop, some kind of a general store. I noticed some items hanging in the window and inside that I'd like to get.
Hi, it's the Wayfarer's Rest. You should ask for Osamu Sensei.
Scribbles down the name.
Tell them I did send you. Osamu. His last name is Hayashi. You should maybe call him Hayashi Sensei. I don't know how he will react. He doesn't know you.
I figured we were walking around and shopping together, so surely it would make sense if we all just...
I can come with you if you want. And he just... there's almost like a little jump.
Can we get bread?
No, you had your power balls. I told you this is the last thing you're gonna eat today.
But tomorrow.
Trust me, if you eat anything else than the power ball today, you will regret it the next week. I tried to help you.
Okay.
But if you guys want to have some of the bread, it's very tasty.
You keep on giving, Hatsu.
So I guess we can make a little beeline. And he moves you to a bakery that is called Moonrise Bakery. And they're very known for their sweet rice buns and freshly made bread. And you would hear him entering the store and shouting out, Etsuko-sensei. Your bread almost smells like as good as mom's.
There's a lot of people in the room, and when you call out, there's like a silence for a moment, and then you just hear Hatsu, and then as they do, they just like a bread roll just gets lumped your way.
He kind of catches it, and he's going, well, I think my friends from the college will really like it, and they will make lots of adverts all over the place. Everybody will know your bread. Is there something special you have for the holidays that we can have my friends taste? And while he's saying that, he's like splitting the bread and hands everybody some of it, but not Aldrin.
Oh, look at it.
Can I just smell it, Eos?
No. You smell it from over there. My bread.
They're very happy to see you, and the conversation is mostly about the celebrations upcoming and how excited they are to see you and how grateful they are for your family, for their constant patronage, and like that kind of thing. Like they're very, very eager to. It's very happy man to see you, yeah.
Well, in the past you used to make these the cherry blossom pastries.
Mm-hmm.
Do you still make them?
They reach behind the counter and they pull out a package and they place it down. This is our last one, and you hear 3 people in the queue like, oh. It's well wrapped in this. It's a paper wrapping around the box, and it's a rope bow, like a little string, like a rope string, sort of wrapped around it, and it's beautifully packaged.
You would see Hatsu would turn to the people that stay in line, because obviously he did skip the line, and he turns around and he has his hand like in front of his chest, and he bows down and he says, Excuse me, I don't want to skip you. If you were here first, feel free to take it.
There's like a moment where the first person in the queue is like, ah, and then they see like the branding on you and they're like, everything's okay. They
Well,
know.
I wouldn't take it if it would be for me. It's my friends here have never tasted it before and they might not get the opportunity soon, so I very apologize for my behavior. But I hope Sensei can make some new ones tomorrow for you, and I will pay for them.
I will put them aside for them tomorrow and keep them. The people in the crowd are like, yeah, they're happy.
Arigatou gozaimasu. And he bows like repeatedly. You wouldn't see it in his face, but you get the impression that he feels very ashamed of what he just did. And he's very apologetic about it.
Your father was here this morning. He picked up maybe 12 loaves. I think you have a big dinner ahead of you.
I can't wait. I haven't eaten properly since a year.
Yes, he bought a lot from the market today. He had several bags with him and a few other people carrying bags as well, so...
And you see like Hatsu's eyes go wide. And this is actually the first time you really see his eye colors.
Yeah.
And you see like a really red hue to his eyes, which you've never recognized in that magnitude before, because he was kind of more, the hood is like a little lower normally, which is not the case when he's home. And you would see like this red hue to his eyes, and you have never seen him look like that. Because he's very excited. And as he would move you out, he would hand you this cherry blossom pastry that is specifically made for these celebration days and only available at these celebration days.
A bow and arrow, a loaf of bread, a pastry, adventures. If I knew what dreams were like, this must be dreaming.
No, this is not a dream.
Good.
This is part of future, I hope.
Oh, it's a great future.
But I think Slate still wanted to go to the Wayfarer's Rest.
More food, let's go.
And he would guide you guys
Eldrin,
to the Wayfarer's Rest.
on the way there, you see a kid wearing the same outfit as Dash, but eating the most delicious looking pastry at the same time. So it's like really conflicting.
I look at him, and I don't look at him with disgust. I just look at it with just raw jealousy. I'm like, I wish I was eating that.
They bite
But I
into the
don't want to
pastry and
dishonor.
jam shoots out the other side and it spills onto the ground.
I sigh and I walk on.
You hear the little jingle of a bell as you open the door to the general store.
Osamu Sensei!
Hatsu, it's good to see you. Your father was here an hour ago. Looks like you're having a big celebration tonight.
I heard that as well. I'm very excited, to be honest. And he kind of, well, I have to show you that. I think you will never see something like that. And he gets out the backpack that he got from Remington. And he opens it a little bit and you see, look inside it. You can't see anything.
He looks in, he's
But
like, it's empty.
No, wait. He grabs in. He gets out like all the rations. And then like ropes and all sorts of stuff. He lines it up at the counter. Isn't that amazing? I could do this the whole day. There's so much stuff in it.
How are you doing this?
Oh, this bag was made from a maleficum.
Wow, you're with a higher form of people.
I'm trying to learn. My father did send me there. I think he had his ideas what I could learn there. And he shoves everything back in. My friend Slate here wants to acquire some from your store, if you don't mind.
Sure. What can I do for you?
So, just quickly did a little perusal and write a couple of notes and just a simple little shopping list. It's things like a grappling hook, a hunting trap, and a shovel. So just very basic, normal things that would be around the thing. The shovel, if there's a selection of them, what I'm specifically looking for is the equivalent of, you know, the small foldable, like a soldier shovel, you know, the little ones that go in a backpack. So it's, yeah, one of those. So it's like not like a workman's shovel, like a ginormous.
You're not going to go dig a grave. You're like talking like a proper, just the ones for the military where they dig out the little trenches and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So just looking for something small like that. So just some basic stuff. And then as I'm perusing and I see, you know, the grappling, the hunch strap and the shovel, I just noticed some sealing wax. And obviously I think to myself that would go well with my
For those
forgery
listening
kit,
to those
so,
words, he doesn't mean wax for like a roof. He means like wax for sealing letters.
yeah, for the forgery kit.
Yeah.
So it's an addition to something that I already work on. So I would definitely acquire some sealing wax as well.
I feel like if this was an anime, like Slate would be standing next to one shelf just going like this, and then suddenly he's next to another shelf across the room going like this, like moving his arms like crazy across the shelf. There's just little bits of smoke around.
Just gesturing hats over with the bag.
It's just like the whole shelf into the bag.
But what bag? There's nothing in there. I didn't take anything.
Absolutely. Any of those purchases and the candles and stuff as well for that stuff can be done, and I'll approve them then in a few minutes. Yeah, for sure.
And then I'll thank him and give a little gesture of a nod as I see as the custom.
Nods back, yeah.
And then I'll turn to Hatsu and say, while we were getting the bread and on our way here, did I see a butcher's across the road? Do they do jerky? Cured meat, seal meats, ones that last.
But I have to admit, I'm not super familiar. Mom used to send me there to buy stuff, but I usually don't eat these things, but the shop is called Sakura's Harvest. We can go there if you want. We can have a look.
Yeah, I'm just looking for long shelf life food, and it's fairly normal to have some kind of dried, cured meats that last. So just to boost up the rations and the flavors, if we have to cook something, some jerky wouldn't go astray.
So he's going
Master
like...
Hayashi just says quickly, yes, they have jerky.
Hi, domo arigatou gozaimashita. Well, I'm proud I could give some of the teachings that you gave me to my friend Slate. He does quite pick up well on these things when it comes to preparation.
He smiles. He's happy about that, yeah, for sure.
So he kind of almost jumpy Lightfoot walk out of the store and towards the butcher's place, Sakura's Harvest. And he, in that fashion, he wanders in, but he, like right at the doorstep, he would go back to tension a little bit. And he would go in like, Taro-sensei.
There's a small nod, and then Hatsu, I just saw your father a few minutes ago. It's good
Hi.
to see you.
Good to see you too. How's business doing?
As always, your family is really keeping us in business. They took a lot of our old meats at full cost to feed some of the homeless today. Always good.
Hi. You know, we keep each other alive, right?
What can I do for you?
Well, our guests, my friends from college, I show them around and they ask me for something that is called beef jerky. Maybe he can ask yourself. This is my friend Slate.
We have beef jerky and deer and boar, whichever you wish.
A mix would be good. Just it's long life, cured, sealed, dried, so any kind. So a mixture would be good.
It just takes a few out of a few different jars. Looks and smells delicious, but dry, of course. He hands you a little thing, and the label on the jars just says Nikogashi, dry meat. So it just says that there.
So again, I just taken the little gesture of a nod, throw them into, my pack or whatever, and then that's it.
Nice. They're all wrapped nicely in sort of a wrapping, a bundle that you can use and just open and close as you wish. It's just a combination of string and some fabric around it to keep it sort of from getting grease in your backpack.
Perfect.
As you come back out, in all of the excitement, Hatsu, you hear bells deep in the background, signifying that it is dinner time. It is 6 p.m., meaning that you are late, Master Hatsu. You have to make your way.
I think we have to go. Mama's gonna be pissed if we're too late. But I think we just have to see one more shop. Have to pick up something. And he kind of walks them a little bit faster. He stops his feathery, jumpy walk into a more shit I'm late walk. And he would stop at a shop that would say the Silent Quill. And he will move in. Jido-sensei.
Very quietly. Hatsu, how are you?
Oh, thank to the gods, I'm fine. I would say I'm doing awesome. How about you?
It has been good. It is good to see you. Blessings upon your family.
Blessings upon your family too. May the new year bring you wisdom and wealth and health and happiness.
Nods and same to you.
Well, I want to introduce you to my friend Eos and Eldrin. They're gonna be our guests for a little while during the celebrations and the holidays in the college, and they are very knowledgeable, and they might need something to read, and I also need some supplies, the usual,
Nods
Oh,
is happy to
I haven't shown you. He pulls out a scroll from his backpack and he kind of opens it and I worked on this one, Sensei. And he shows it.
He nods and wow, that is, you did this yourself?
I incorporated a lot of what you told me and what Gigi told me and what Mom told me. And I think it's quite a nice fusion of all the things you told me.
Wait, It is excellent. For those of you who are there, so just not a Madriana for this particular one, you would see the piece of paper and it would have a symbol on it that is just like, it's kind of rounded, but it has sort of concentric calligraphy through it all. It's not something where you can necessarily make out the words, but the design is absolutely stunning. For those of you who are not familiar with it, the design is stunning. And a little side note, for those of you watching the video, that was actually made by Master Busy himself.
Biz.
Hi.
Wow, that's cool. Okay,
Well done, man.
that's really cool.
Well, if you need anything, they will put it on my bill. Just if you need something, just come back to this place. I'm pretty sure you will be too tired after your training, but just in case.
He's talking to you, Aldrin.
Oh no, I'm talking to both of you.
He's talking to you, Eos.
Oh, that's the problem.
So, as you all rush to dinner, what we're going to do is take a break. I'm going to come back. I'm going to join a Madriana, and we'll find out what she was doing with her time. And we'll go through that, and then we will regroup at the dinner after that point and see how far we get, because we are blasting through hours with, like, we've done our introduction to Saigo Notoshi. We're here. We were
Honestly, I'm so excited I could do this 10 hours.
I could tell it's 50% Hatsu, 50% busy.
Maybe we're only here for one day and Keen's going to miss it. Oh no.
I know,
That's
I said to Keen, it's a shame you're going to miss Saigo Notoshi. He said, with all due respect, there's no way in hell this group gets through this city in less than 3 sessions. I'll be fine. So he'll be back
Challenge
next week.
accepted, boys.
Challenge
Let's
accepted. Let's
Yeah.
speed run Saigo Notoshi.
Back on the boat later this afternoon.
At the end of the session, everybody back to the boat.
Hell yeah. For those of you who are joining us live, there will be a boss battle as always in just a few moments. Feel free to enjoy the character intro videos and the boss battle. And then we'll be back in about 10 minutes or so. For those of you on the podcast or watching this on YouTube later, it's just a smash cut. You guys are good. We treat you good. You'll be fine. We'll be back.
Sorry.
Podcast, we'll just leave it all in. You just have to listen and appreciate it. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll be back in 10. See you shortly. Bye.
Bye.
And we are back. Thank you for waiting patiently there. We are going to pick up from where we left off here with Miss Madriana on her adventure. Let's see where she went. So Madriana, you shuffle onto the rooftops, your map in tow, and I'll be somewhere above you. What would you like to do?
So, first things first is to obviously plan a route along the rooftops that she knows she can hit. Nothing dodgy, because she doesn't want to get caught doing what she's doing, especially not with these garments on. So she's going to stick to routes that she knows she can handle.
Right.
As she's doing this, there is a couple of things she's looking for. One, she's looking for anyone else that holds this emblem.
Mm-hmm.
So like if she sees someone walking through the streets and they've got that particular sigil on them. Two, she's watching to see how the people interact, as in, like, is this place really as friendly and nice as it seems?
Gotcha.
The other thing, the last thing I'd be looking out for is she assumes that her father's reach stretches out much beyond to everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking out for, we'll say, other kin, other people of my ilk in that sense, people that I can see maybe doing naughty shit they shouldn't be doing.
Okay. Okay. So, sorry, you're looking for the Hatsu symbol, the Toshitsugu symbol, sorry. And you're worried about, like, people from Verdoir or in some way or form connected in that sense.
Yeah, to the various groups of which I have a lot of dealing with. I just want to make sure, like, I want to see if there's any, like, pickpocketing going on, if there's any, you know, that kind of stuff.
So, all right, I'm gonna let Albie give you advantage for these rolls. I need specific rolls from you. The first one is stealth, because I'm gonna suggest that you're probably at least trying to stay out of sight. So
yeah,
we'll
absolutely.
go with stealth. So you can do that. That one's not with advantage if that's okay, because Albie can't help you hide. But you can
Yeah, that's
do
fair.
a normal stealth check.
That's a 10.
10? Okay. The next thing is the symbol. So I'll get you to do either, I would say investigation for this one, to be honest, but you can have advantage with Albie's help, because this Albie can actively help you with.
Okay.
Oof.
Well, that's lucky, because that was a nat 1 or an 18
That's really
for 23 total.
I'll be really helping you. And then
And
the
that
last one
was rolled first as well.
Yeah, it's crazy. The last one then is, because you're worried about your father and stuff, I would say that you then do the roll for I'll give you perception or investigation for this, because it's not directly investigation, you're just trying to pick up on things, so I would give you either, whichever you prefer, and you have advantage on it as well.
Okay. Probably be perception, because this is a scout. This isn't...
Cool. Okay.
I'm just trying to reason it the best way possible. So that was a 2 or a 13, but the 13 becomes a 17.
The advantage is really helping you today. Okay. So the stealth, you're trying to be sneaky and you're trying to hide. You get a little too close to an edge in some of the tile roofing that they have. Like they have that overlapping brick, like that kind of like that orange kind of brick. Some of it breaks a little bit and just drips down to the street, but you move back and hopefully you weren't seen. The investigation check, that was for the symbol. That was really high roll as well. It was 23. So you do see the symbol on you do see the symbol on two people. One of them you recognize immediately as Boreal. He's walking with an older gentleman, and he is accompanied by a much older gentleman. The first older gentleman has sort of hair that's like back, and it's a little bit long around the neck, but it has like a kind of man bun thing going on, and he's wearing very ceremonial robes, and they look lavish, they look expensive, they look like someone who could afford to have such a thing. He has this kind of thing around his neck. It's like a large chain, but it doesn't, not in the sense of like, you know, like MC Hammer in the 80s or like Mr. T or something. It's more like something that's weighing him down as a discipline. It looks like he's doing something with this on purpose, intentionally wearing this. It's not tight around his neck. It like goes way down, and it looks very heavy. So it looks like more of something with a discipline than anything else. That is this gentleman here, for those watching. And the other old gentleman has like a long beard, slick back white hair as he's walking along behind him. Much older. He's walking along carrying bags. Boreal's carrying bags, and he's carrying bags as well. And you do notice the symbol on their side. They are heading off towards a rather large building that you can see, and you get the impression that that is the one that Hatsu told you about to keep an eye out for.
Okay, but there's no Remington.
No.
Okay. And then for other people in the street? Do I see anyone?
Remind me of the number.
Just 17.
17, that's pretty good. So at first, no. You don't see anybody. You don't notice anything out of the ordinary. It's actually kind of weird, because if this were Verdwar with this group of people, they would all be pickpocketed. Like, nobody would leave the street with anything they came with. It takes a few minutes for you to kind of pick up on anything, but you do notice somebody wearing slightly darker clothes, but not dark enough that it would stand out, just dark enough that it catches your eye, because you're used to looking for that kind of thing. you see that they have like kind of a face covering on, not like you, like a mask. I'm just trying to think of how to explain this. It's like an upper part of the face, but the mouth is undone. Kind of, is it the Phantom of the Opera? Is that who has that kind of mask?
He's got the one halfway across.
Oh, they have the
face.
half one. There is somebody. Is it just Kane?
Batman
or something? Batman. Fine, yeah, Batman, like a cowl. They have the mouth out, but the upper part is covered. But it's a very ceremonial mask. It's kind of white with these like Sakura. Fuck's sake, Rory. I just saw you write Batman of the Opera. Sakura designs on it, so it's very intricate. Looks like it's supposed to blend in, but it is a bit standing out to you, if that makes sense. You notice them bumping into, yeah, you notice them bumping into a lot of people for one person, which is a bit strange. At some point they bump into someone who's a little bit larger, but they get knocked back and the mask falls off. You actually recognize this person. They are named Warby Jane. If you remember them from your pack, I'm not sure. It's been a minute.
It has been a minute and I don't have it open.
It's okay. This is someone who's what's the best way to do this?
Let me see if I can get my pack quick enough.
They are loyal to the Crimson Embers, and they are usually located in the Spiv.
Right.
They would have been a person that said goodbye to you in session 0.
Gotcha. Okay, I'm gonna sneak down onto the road and I want to try and bump into them and take everything they just took off of the other people.
Okay. I'll say give me a... Ooh, this is exciting. Give me a stealth check first of all. Give me a stealth check first of all, and yeah, sleight of hand check after that.
Can I say that I'm getting Albie to kind of sit up on like a railing or something like that above them, doing a bit of
the perspective? Yeah.
But more so that they don't see me coming.
Okay, I'll give it to you for the stealth, but the sleight of hand is a straight roll. Stealth is advantage.
That's fair.
That's fair.
That's fair. Which is freaking damn lucky considering I rolled another natural 1. So that's a 16 for a 23 though.
I think we need to just give you like permanent advantage just so you get balanced rolls.
Man, tell me about it. Tell me.
Stealth check was 23. Crazy.
Okay, sleight of hand. Let's go. Oh, that's not bad though. That's a 17 rolled for a 22 total.
Damn. Okay, so
if I do successfully manage to take this out, I also want to leave a note in place of what I've taken saying, get better and get out of this city.
Okay, 23 and 22. So you write your note and you slide down the nearest pole available to you. You blend in with the crowd and you follow Warby down the street as they bump into a few more people. Navigating and through the crowd is easy for you. If anyone was watching you walk into that crowd, they would have lost you immediately. As you head into the crowd, you head towards Warby, an easy target, and as they bump into someone, presumably trying to pickpocket another person, you use that moment while the jacket sways open to just simply take the whole pouch and move back into the crowd. What I'll say is, as you leave the note in there, I'll get you to make a perception check.
Okay. Oof, no. 7.
7. You don't notice what the immediate response is. All you hear is, hey.
As in, she's talking to me.
She's talking. As you look back, you look and she's like looking around trying to see where that went, but she noticed the bag was gone immediately. She didn't notice you take it. She just noticed it was gone and she's looking around.
I'm just gonna, dip into a little sides. Not even no, it's not even gonna be a side street. I'm gonna dip in as if I'm at a merchant or whatever's here, just as if I'm kind of one of the people talking, kind of thing, and just watch. But I'm gonna do it in a way, because she would almost definitely know my mask. So I'm gonna do it in a way that she wouldn't be able to see me.
As you as you do all of this, she leans against the wall kind of across from where she was, and she just simply says out to the crowd, "You have no idea who you're fucking with. That bag was not for me." She looks through the crowd waiting for someone to respond. There's people looking at her, side-eye glancing the fuck, but there's still no response.
I'm gonna have Albie. I'm assuming Albie knows what I know, right? That's how it works.
Yeah, well, you guys communicate, I believe, telepathically.
Yeah.
I'll just explain it as a bond, but yeah, the sheet itself or the stat block for familiar is that I believe you can communicate telepathically.
So he's gonna go above her on whatever the railing or whatever it is, I'm guessing to a window above, and he's going to basically tap on the railing with his beak in Tacky Talk and say, "Who's it for then?"
If you're looking towards her, there's a moment where she just stops and she's listening, she takes in the Tacky Talk, the tapping. She looks up and sees the bird and then just shakes it off and thinks, okay, someone else must be involved in this. There's no way it's just the bird, right? That bag belongs to the Archon. She's looking around. If anything, that just made a major and I want to give it back less.
It really did. If it wasn't for the fact that she would probably get decapitated if I don't give it back.
Historically, I believe, I'm kind of trying to remember now, because coincidentally, it's been almost a year since we delivered those packs, and a lot longer since I wrote them. I believe that she was also very good to you growing up and was someone who did take care of you. So she is a good person to you, as far as I remember.
Exactly. Yeah. No, I know. I remembered that as well. How much is in the bag? I should know roughly by weight what's in there roughly.
Well, what I will say is that it is a weighted bag. There's a hefty weight to that. It's not a, it's not something to scoff at. It is a pretty penny, and she has clearly been working all day here. And the fact that she's not at the spiv, which she, mostly runs, the fact that she's here means there are probably a lot of other people here, and they have been sent here to do this, to get this.
Because it's busy time.
It is the busiest city in if it was any other day, probably Palperoth, but today, here, now, all hands on deck in this city, in the busy city.
Okay. So I don't know what's in this bag.
Technically not yet, but you can open it if you wish to have a look, yeah.
I'll open it enough to kind of have a glance and get a rough guesstimate. I'm going to take 25%, so I'm going to put my hand in and a handful, and I'm going to put it in my pouch.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I'm going to tie up the bag.
Okay.
And I want to slink up next to her as quietly as possible.
Mm-hmm.
And just, while she's there, still looking around and being as quiet as I am, I'm going to walk up and essentially place it in her hand. While I'm stood next to her, just put it in her hand.
Okay. I'll get you to roll 2 sleight of hand checks for me, not for the stealth of this, but for something else. And then when you've done that, I'll do the interaction with her that she has lined up here.
No worries. Also, just as a note, just in case it's an issue or a thing, I remind you that where your Matriana keeps her purse or her pouch is actually inside her armor.
No
It's
worries.
not on her waistband like the rest of them do.
Yeah, no, I know.
So first sleight of hand is a 2 for a 7,
Okay.
and the second one is a 2 for a 7.
Okay.
There you go.
That's easy enough. So I don't need to figure out which is which. You get 7 orums, which is gold in this world. So you get 7 gold pieces, which we call orums in this, and you get 7 moons, which is silver.
Okay.
Just
So
for the,
I'll add
I don't
that.
think we've actually talked about this before. So because this is something that's more recent to the campaign, but the platinum pieces in the campaign are known as crowns. Gold pieces are known as orums. Silver pieces are known as moons, and copper pieces are known as bells. And fuck Electrum entirely.
Basically.
Yeah, that's just the easiest way to track it for us. All has significance and meaning to be revealed someday. Yeah, so
put
you
it-
get 7 7. Yeah.
Yeah, so I put it in her hand and just look at her and go, you know, you really should be more careful, dear. I'd have thought you'd have taught me better than that.
Fucking hell. It isn't Anna herself. What the fuck are you doing?
I'm on a secret assignment. So as far as you're concerned, and as far as anyone else that might ask you is concerned, I'm not here.
Fine with me. She she corrects herself and her voice changes. So how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you? I've actually missed you.
You too. The tavern's a lot quieter without you.
Hmm.
When are you going to grace the Spivik once again?
I'll be back soon enough. What's got you guys out here? Oh, well,
Tis the
I
season.
suppose it's a...
People come here in their fancy garments with all of their gear exposed in their way too open robes. Tourists.
Do me a favor. And this is me asking you.
Of course.
Make sure everyone knows that this, and shows it a symbol, you don't touch these. At all.
What does it mean?
Doesn't mean anything to anyone else. But to me it means don't touch.
Very well. It's, yeah. It's been a bit quiet without you.
Well, what I've been doing is taking me a little bit longer for me to work out. It's not been as simple. Are you still looking out for Mother?
Yeah, the Viper misses you.
I know. I saw her incredibly briefly. I'm not even sure she knew I was there.
I'd be surprised if anything got past her.
That's true. That's true.
Anything more dangerous than her daggers or her eyes.
Yes. But still, keep an eye for me, won't you?
Of course, every day. I owe my life to your family. Are you keeping safe?
Had a few run-ins. Can you believe and there's a little bit of a silence to this where she says, I actually made my first kill.
Fucking hell. Fuck, that's wild. Did you, how do you feel about it? That's a big milestone. Really stepping into the family business now.
I didn't like it. I didn't want to do it.
Be surprised if you did. Self-defense or?
Not of me, but of people that really didn't deserve it.
Hey, this shit happens. These isles are dangerous.
Yes, I'm starting to gather that quite quickly.
How are you getting on? Viper told me where you went, obviously, for your goodbye party. Are they treating
So you
you
know
good?
where I've been.
Yes. Are you
Yeah.
treated good though? Yeah.
Surprisingly, yes. They've... Well, apart from you and apart from Mother, they treated me more like family than anyone else ever has. Foolishly, probably, but they have.
Well, all hands on deck for this, but besides this, it has been mostly the Archon trying to get past that infernal door. Quite a few casualties on that one, I'm afraid.
Has he sent you in?
No. Thankfully, I'm just backup support for these kind of things. He needs someone to run the spiv. Can't let the Nexus go untouched, unwatched.
Well, if there's anyone able to do it, it's you.
Have you seen him, your father?
A month or so ago. Couple of months.
Oh, I meant while you're in the city. He's here too.
And there's almost like a visual tension to her body now.
I don't quite know who he's meeting with, but it's some of the up and ups of the city. High Council and that kind of thing. I would imagine in that fucking thing. And she points to like this big sort of... It's like a tiered, towered building. Sort of the top upper parts. It's walled in the upper parts of the area of Saganatoshi.
Is it the same place of where I saw the others from
No.
Hatsu's clan going?
No, it's much further away. Like that's like upper districts. Like that looks important. It looks like what are they called? Not pagodas, right? The tiered buildings that go up and up, but they get thinner.
Yeah. What time are they meeting?
It's been ongoing for days, so I have no idea. Something is happening on the New Year's celebration, that's all I know. They need to have it organized.
Yet.
If I knew anything, I'd tell you, I swear.
I know. Listen, like I said, keep it under your hat that I'm here.
No problem. Oh,
And,
there is one thing. He has a fellow with him that's not normal, shall we say. He's got quite blue skin. He hides it well under his mask and his hood, but we noticed these sort of things. I saw his neck.
name?
I don't know. But a lot of people backed away as he walked through the streets, so I would imagine he's known here somehow. Shouldn't be too hard to find.
Okay.
Yeah, listen.
Do you know how long he's here for?
At least...
Till New Year, right?
Yeah, at least till the day after New Year's. I'm not 100%. If I knew, I would tell you. I just know that our boat goes back on the first day of New Year. That's when I'm supposed to board. I don't know if he's due to be on this or not.
Is Mother here, or is she back home?
I believe she's back home. She is currently manning the Nexus. She didn't want to be involved in just currency collection.
That's not just what this is if he's here.
That would be my fear.
Like I said,
Never
don't
saw
tell
you.
anyone about me, and
I'm just talking to a stranger on the street with a...
tell everyone about, as well.
Yes.
Don't tell them why, just, I'm sure you can come up with something. They'll listen to you. They know not to fuck with you.
Yeah, they have to report to me anyway, so...
Yeah.
I will... Look, I will take care of this. If there's anything you need, we're staying at the... just the thing for a minute, because the DM forgot the name of the fucking tavern. We're staying at the... Something.
Lightning Oni.
Lightning Oni, thank you. Lightning Oni, that is the one I was thinking. And I was saying Oshioni? No, that's not right. Lightning Oni. We are staying there at the moment. If you wish to come see me or something, do so during the morning, because that's when we're all asleep. Evening to nighttime is when we make our biggest haul. So
Okay.
avoid the docks. The ship is there with most of the people, obviously guarding it, and this is where we have to drop off a hull. This is where most people would recognize you.
Yes, of course.
That'll be gone on the 1st.
Okay. I need to go, but just know I miss you, and I will be home soon.
I will. Can I tell the Viper that I saw you?
Only her.
Very good.
And also, I've taxed you because you should be more careful.
I was thinking the bag was a little light. Oh shit, here, take this. And she reaches into her backpack and she takes out, it's like this, it's almost like it looks kind of like a protein bar, but it's like a verdoir thing. It's like something you all eat. It's akin to Hatsu's power balls, but it's just something else. It's a taste of home.
Right, okay, cool. Yes, yeah. It's been far too long since I've had some of these.
Well,
Thank
come
you.
home. I'm sure you'd have a nice warm welcome.
Huh. As warm as it ever was, I guess. Saying that, the fireplace in your bar was always warm.
I have a quick question before you go. Is that your bird, or how does it speak Taki talk?
And I just do that.
Mm-hmm.
And he just flies down, lands on my shoulder.
Yeah. Right. If I may be so bold, may I take this bird with me? Will it know how to find you?
Yes.
Right. If I find out anything about your father, can I attach a note safely to this bird? Will it come straight to you, or?
Yes. I'd say even... You can do that. But also, I'll check in with him every so often. And I'll do the usual knock on your shoulder, so you know that I'm watching. And then you can show him and I'll be able to see it.
I would ask many questions, but I am fully aware of where you've been, so this shouldn't surprise me. That you have a walkie-talkie bird. That is absolutely fine. For context, people, walkie-talkie is the cup and string. That's all I'm talking about here.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about an electronic over. Although sending stones also exist.
Yeah.
But for the moment, I meant more of a classical sense than an electronic sense. Right.
I've definitely learned some new tricks. I'll talk to you more about that next time we can.
I would like to learn. I could also do with a talking bird help. That would be great. Look, I have to get back to work. If I come in short, I now have to make up for a quarter of my findings, but that's okay. If I come home short, they are going to suspect something. So it's best I get back.
If you come back short, let me know.
Always.
But you know how it works.
Do I squeeze the bird to get your attention, or how does this work?
Like I said, I'll check in with him now and again. If there's something immediate, send him back to me.
Gotcha. Come, little bird thing. You're going to help me be a criminal. She looks around at the crowd. Very good.
He's called Elby.
Albie. I like that. Don't be a stranger.
I never could to you.
As you say that, she just disappears in one way and you disappear in the other into the crowd, and
Yeah.
the crowd is part.
So I've done all this hopefully with enough time that I actually make it to where we're meant to be meeting at the time we're meant to be meeting, because one thing a Madriana will not do, unless she can absolutely not help the situation, is she will not be late to something as important as this.
So much so you'll actually be there before them. You'll be on time. They are a little bit late because they're running from the shopping district up. So you'll actually be there first. As you make your way through the town and stuff like that, it's just another place, right? There isn't super much for you to take in on this, because you've been to places. You've been to Palproth, you've been to Verdoir. Like it's I think you've been to Palproth, actually, can't remember. But you've definitely been to Verdoir, and that is its own, maelstrom of chaos. This is just calm and quiet, and it's fine. As you're going, you occasionally dip and dodge as you notice other people who work for your father in the crowd as well. But you get up to the place, and you're leaning against the door as your compatriots show up 15 minutes later.
Hatsu, your mother is very disappointed.
I'm pretty sure she didn't talk to you. I'm pretty sure you just arrived.
Oh no, I've definitely been here a while, but no, I haven't spoken to her.
Seen Ayame?
No.
Why?
Because she's good at what she does.
But I assume she was waiting for me, so it would make sense to. Oh man, she definitely did hide. I'm sorry.
That's what I'm saying. She's good at what she does.
So what did you do actually?
That's actually something I want to discuss. But now is not the time because we are late.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And she kind of runs inside.
You go in and yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, and he would enter the house like bowing down really deep, and he would go like Okasan, I'm so sorry. I had to get materials for my friends for their sessions tomorrow. I'm so sorry.
So as you enter, you take in a lot. You're in a big hall, an area where the first thing you'll see is at the top of the hall is a Toshitsugu clan, but this hall has a lot of signs on it. Some are to help the homeless. Some are to like to offer a place like shelter or a place to stay. But mostly this is a banquet hall. This is one that was constructed by the Toshitsugus. It looks like not even in Hatsu's lifetime. This building looks old, and considering its location in the city, it's definitely been here for a long time. There are several faces that are to be taken in as you enter this place. First, Madriana, at the head of the table, you see the gentleman that you saw earlier who was wearing the logo with the slick back hair and everything, with the man bun at the back. I say man bun, that's probably really offensive. Tied back hair. You see him and Boreal sitting next to him, and across from Boreal is Kokoro, which is Hatsu's mother. You met her earlier. And the table is filled with people from Hatsu you would recognize from your family. Some old, some older. They are all here. You see a table next to them. Ayami is sitting at that table with the Fujiwara clan. And both of them hold the same amount of space in this room. One is on the left, one is on the right. They're parallel to each other. It isn't built that one is above the other. It is actually built to share the space. Around then is other tables that have other people here. Some of note, some of importance. Some look very formal, some look fancy. Some don't. On another table, there's some people here who don't look particularly fancy or well dressed. You recognize some of the people who were working at the stable. You recognize some of the shop people and stuff like that as they're trickling in now as the shops are closed. You recognize a lot of people that you've seen throughout your day today, and Hatsu even more, recognizing tons and tons of people from here. One that catches your eye at the stable table is a gentleman who's quite a lot older with like massive purple hair that's tied back and this like crazy look on his face, and he's boisterous and you can all hear his laugh from like 10 miles away. You see people who are like very happy to be here. It's like a lot of people drinking and there's merriment, and the food isn't here yet, but there are several chairs waiting for you further up the hall. The only two that remain empty once you guys start to join your space are Dash and Lissa, who had no idea that this was happening, and they walked off. So this is those two spaces are still available should they make their way here later, but they would be late to the party. Besides that, Hatsu, the people you find sitting at the table for your family, I don't know if you really need me to explain, because I'm pretty sure you know your family quite well. You seem very versed and prepared for this session. You have read your pack. I'm very happy and very proud of you. On behalf of that, all of you may have inspiration. Good job to Hatsu. This is a good time to refill. I will also consider this the next day of downtime, so you guys may take and count this as a long rest for your 1 week. You may have your spell slots back. You may have your exhaustions diminished if you have any. You can have all your happiness and your joy. Refill those hit die, all of that stuff.
What are you about to do to us?
Nothing. You find a health kit on the table, and you find resupplies for all of your ammunition.
And an ink ribbon and a typewriter, right?
In the words of Schmiegel, what about second inspiration, precious?
You all take your seats and you find them labeled. Alongside Hatsu's is seats, a few on his side and a few across from him for you guys, each one labeled for you and in the same color as your robes to make it easier for you to find. As you sit down, the smell of food is already wafting through the air. Hatsu, you look up at your mother and she has a stern look on her face. The bell rang quite some time ago, Hatsu.
Okasan, we had to get some things for training and I was excited and I'm sorry.
There is a moment where they're like, and she just smiles. It's good to have you home, Hatsu. And then your sister's like, what the if that was me, I would have been in so much trouble.
He just looks up like a little bit like a to Asuka.
In the corner, someone is sitting there with a large instrument that most of you wouldn't have seen bar Slate. This is a very large instrument with many, many strings. It's a harp, effectively. I was going to go ahead and try and describe a harp as best I can, but it's easier to just say it's the word harp. And as they begin playing, the crowd becomes more in a lull, and the music starts to kick in as you all sit down. You guys are free to discuss.
I have to say, Hatsu, I don't think I've ever seen you quite so flummoxed.
Well, what happens in Saiga no Toshi stays in Saiga no Toshi.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I wouldn't make fun of you witnessing how you behave in front of your parents. So don't.
Yeah, I wouldn't, obviously. I'm just jesting with you.
I know.
And also, you might get to see that a bit quicker.
This week.
You might get to see that a bit quicker than you expect. That's kind of what I need to talk to you about afterwards.
Yeah, things happen through New Year's, I guess. Well, let's hope it is a healthy, safe, and a lecturous New Year for us. Speaking of Eos, do you see that guy over there? And he points towards the long bluish purplish hair kind of guy with like a crazy psychopath smirk on his face, and he's loud as shit over the tables.
Yeah, he looks like my dad.
He laughs like crazy across the tables. He doesn't even hear you guys or see you, but you can hear everywhere. He's like, he's just got this booming laugh, and he's really invested in whatever story is being told. His drink is bigger than most, and he is well invested. He does indeed have purple hair. He is massive. His robes are like plated along the chest piece, but the rest is just fabric, and he has these leather gloves on. He's wearing these very baggy fabric pants and riding boots beneath them. He is, for all intents and purposes, kind of psychotic looking.
My dad suffers the same ailments. He too is very deaf and cannot hear himself when he laughs.
Hi, this is Kanzawa Masaki Sensei, and he's gonna be your teacher for your time being here.
Oh. Thank you. Could I keep my name tag?
Sure. Yeah.
Thank you.
But
getting so
don't
many
try to sneak it in your pockets. Just take it casually when we leave. It might look awkward. Or we being watched the whole time. I don't want anybody talk like, you know, my friends steal from me or something.
You hear,
Okay.
you look over and Hatsu Kokoro is like, the menu? You need to tick the boxes so that we can all eat. And then on the table you find a menu that is stacked. Like everything you guys could possibly want is there, including chicken wings, he goes.
He puts her name tag back down. Very obviously, she's like...
And as he says that, he will pick the menu from Aldrin. And
God,
he's going, Okasan, I don't want to be rude, but, you know, he's not allowed to eat this. He already had a Powerball.
He is fasting for temple, is it?
Oh, he already has his robes on, and I try to prepare him for what's coming tomorrow.
Of course. Just tick the box on the back of the menu for fasting. So with that, the rest of you, I really want to
You see just Hatsu doing it for him and give it back.
Thank you, Hatsu. I definitely could not eat right now.
For the rest of you, I want to know what each of you are ordering, if you can have anything. Because this is sometimes my favorite part, especially because we're about to wrap the show and I really want to go eat, so... Adriana, I'll start with you. What is she ordering?
Okay, I'm going to keep this nice and simple.
Oh yeah.
We are in a room full of people that she doesn't know.
Correct.
She is ordering tomato soup and a straw.
With that, you look down and next to it is what looks like a veil, so that you can safely cover yourself if you wish to eat.
Oh, if that was the case, in that case, then...
Apologies. Everything's thought of and taken care of, yeah.
I was going to say, if that's been thought of and taken care of, oh, okay. Let's go.
When I say a veil, it goes kind of all the way around, so it like, when you're eating, it stays covered. It doesn't just move out of the way or something like that. It's not just your face. It's like a whole head covering for you.
Awesome. Okay, so, in that case, we'll have the starter of prawn toast. We'll have the main of lamb shank with roast potatoes, you know, the veg and accompaniments, stuffing, Yorkshire, all that kind of stuff. And then dessert will be a lemon cheesecake with like a chocolate drizzle.
Gosh, that is well thought out, and I am glad I asked this at the end of the session, not at the beginning. that's amazing.
I had roast tonight, so that's kind of why I'm like,
you're in it.
Yeah, I'm in there.
Hatsu, I'll come to you last because this is your home and I want to know for sure. So ES, I'll jump to you. What are you ordering?
Ooh, okay. So on a large bowl base of udon noodles, she will have specifically what's called gyudon beef, which is like ribbons of beef that they have traditionally in Japan. This is soaked in a beautiful dark soy sauce with a bit of sesame on top of it. That'll be accompanied by 2 raw eggs with a side of brown rice and just your standard kind of veggies. And that'll be added with some, let's just say, let's go for sparkling water.
Nice. Absolutely. And then Slate.
So, for Slate, having already been to some of the shops, I've seen some of the beef, but all I got to buy was jerky. So in this instance, it's going to be any local specialty beef, you know, prime cuts, the best they have to offer. It's one of these travel broadens the mind. It's the best part of traveling is, you know, eating the food. But also knowing that we came in on a boat means I know that, you know, if it swims, they have it. So we're going for like a surf and turf type of thing. So we've got, you know, beef, seafood, fish, etc. And then while going for this, you know, loading the plate and getting different bits, then it's also going to be an order of sushi, knowing full well he won't be able to eat it all because it's always eyes are bigger than. So
Always.
it's a big it's a combo of surf and turf, so beef, fish, and then the likes of sushi and rice, and, you know, obviously little bits of sauces and things like that, everything that's going basically. So it's a makeshift buffet of sorts.
Nice. It sounds really good. It sounds like a turf and surf or like a smorgasbord of foods, but it sounds really good all the same.
Yeah.
Eldrin, you're fasting. So what are you drinking?
I am having ice water.
Okay, perfect. You have an ice water. Absolutely. The finest
Total
ice water.
fast.
Yeah,
The finest in the lands.
And then I come to Mr. Toshitsugu, whose name I remember how to pronounce.
Oh, you see, like, while they're ordering, he already has made space, like, to prepare the table for receiving a lot of food. Because this is the only time in the year when he's allowed to eat whatever he wants. So he already has a veil over his head. Like, he switched it so fast that you couldn't even realize that something happened. And he starts with ramen soup. And the one that he prefers the most is with like chicken broth and fresh handmade noodles. And he also likes to have it with 2 eggs and some parsley over it. And he's gonna start with 5 bowls of that. And he's gonna chunk them down within like a minute or so. And then this is followed by around 10 to 15 steaks. You can't really tell because he's eating them so fast that you think his stomach is connected to a bag of holding.
Hell yeah.
And then he goes for fish. And then he shoves so much of his mother's bread inside him as he can physically carry.
Hell yeah. Sounds delicious. And you all sit down, you have your meals. Eldrin, Lulic, Forlorn, as your meal, obviously of ice water, does its job.
Of all the shit we've done to each other, this is quite possibly the fucking meanest thing that's happened. Like, Dash being made into a bird bath was nothing compared to this.
The worst thing is because Kyle is hungry.
Oh, I'm sorry, buddy. Well, with that, once the meal is done, the room goes kind of quiet and everyone's kind of full and they're sort of chilling, and then a band comes in and they begin to do what can only be considered the tavern song.
Of course.
Merriment is had, everybody is happy, and food begin. The servings of dessert and then the drinks begin to flow as merriment happens.
Can I just check
Go ahead.
that this band, any people to come in service-wise, anything like that, they're no one that I could know or recognize the way they are?
Funny, because I was actually just about to ask you to make a perception check for me, so you can actually do investigation and perception for me, please.
Yeah.
Do I pick up on what Madriana is doing at the moment?
That she's looking around? Maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, do you know what? I'm gonna use my.
As I see
Okay.
Madriana looking around, and I look and see what she is looking at. I think,
Okay.
and I cast the guidance on Madriana.
Shit, okay.
So 1d4 for
If you're making
Madriana.
another ability check, so if you're using your inspiration, you can add your guidance to that roll.
Okay, cool.
Because the nat one is a nat one, so at that point the guidance won't save you. It's like...
Oh, are you fucking kidding me?
Okay.
So even with the guidance, that's only a 9. But I did get 18 on my investigation.
So there's two things. I'll do the investigation second. So first you're looking for people kind of like trying to perceive if anybody recognizes here, just in case there's any shenanigans afoot. But you don't notice anybody from home, let's say.
Mm-hmm.
But you do see at the table next to Boreal is that old man, who is actually just sort of next to you, I guess. So it wasn't really noted. You're across from Hatsu. Hatsu's sitting next to his mother. So you're on the other side next to like Boreal and stuff like that. And the sister's there somewhere as well. But this old man is sitting here too. So he's someone of note or importance. As you look up, you just see a small grin on his face. Ah, took you a while to notice that I'm here.
This was the guy I saw walking with them.
Mm-hmm.
Who is it?
Perhaps I could help you. And he waves his hand over his other hand, and the hand becomes purple before he waves his hand, and it becomes skin tone again.
Ah, okay. I figured that you had to be one of these people. It's good to know that that's you.
Yes, well, sometimes it's worth blending in as much as you can. Although Eos seems to have found herself quite calmly walking around the streets, perhaps I could too.
I think you'd be safe enough by what I've experienced.
Just not used to it, I suppose.
Yes. And I'm looking to make sure nobody else is kind of paying attention to us. We may have a slight problem. I want to talk to the rest, but I think you might be of good guidance as well.
Yes, if it's of great importance, of course we can. Well, I tell you what, grab them and join me in this corner over here. I can take care of the rest.
Okay. So yeah, kind of talking and finishing meals and stuff, and can we all have a chat, guys? I want to introduce you to a friend of mine.
Well, I don't want to be rude, but that has to wait a minute. I want to introduce some of you to their teachers for tomorrow.
Okay, yes, absolutely, yeah.
I don't want to be rude.
No.
They know they're doing us a favor.
Yes, absolutely.
So, he kind of picks on Eos like...
Oh, okay. Food, I'll be back to you.
Hide it, there's plenty of food. It doesn't run out that fast.
The gifts, Hatsu, they keep coming.
And he moves you over to the purple hair guy. And he would go like... He would bow down and almost kneel like a little bit, if that makes sense. And he would go, Masaki-sensei, it's an honor to have you here.
Oh my god! He slaps you on the back and like your whole body goes...
Yeah, I miss those days, Sensei. But I want to thank you so much for taking my friend as an apprentice for the next week.
When Atsu calls, you answer.
Well, this is Eos.
Eos, good to meet you. He grabs your hand and he like shakes it. Your whole body's like, yeah.
Mr. Mizaki, sir, such a pleasure to meet you.
She has her friend Ducky with her. They're gonna train together.
I'm excited. I think I met Ducky at the stable today.
Hi.
Eos just has a flash image of how much he must have like shook Ducky or something.
Ducky is a good boy, but I think he's not used to trained his ways, just that you know of.
That's all right. I'll train them both.
Hi.
1 week with me, you'll be a different person.
Ooh,
I can vouch for that.
looking forward to this. Thank you.
Is there
Yes, of course.
anything out of the ordinary that I would know that you want her to bring or do?
Bow, arrows, horse. He just sits there quietly for a second as he like thinks. I think that's everything. She'll be fine in the hills, right? It's safe enough.
So she doesn't have to pay sake every day as I had to do?
Friend and family discount.
I appreciate it. Well,
There's one thing. The bakery opens at 5. We need some pastries. It's an emergency.
she will pick some up for you.
She'll see why when we're in the mountains. I feel weird saying she. You will see why when we're in the mountains. Yes.
Eos tries to catch his eyes and... Sir, you look like a mighty warrior.
Doesn't
My
accept or
dad.
decline.
My dad has a mighty roar of a laugh like you. You rumble the grounds very beneath me. You must be a true warrior of the Toshitsuku clan.
Well, you seem to have a good scope for my metal. Let's test yours tomorrow.
I'm made of skin and bone. I'm not metal, but I will see you in the morning.
Well, skin and bone is squishy. Let's see how well it does.
Hatsu seems a little bit worried. He's afraid that he might not have prepared Eos well enough for this encounter. So he turns to Eos and says, and he goes back to Masaki and says, Arigato sensei, may the gods bless your new year with wealth and health and loyalty.
Same
We
to
will
you,
see you
Hatsu,
tomorrow.
and to your family, of course. And yeah, just make sure that your father speaks to me. I need to organize things with him as well.
Hi. And he takes Eos a little bit by saying, that might sound strange now, but I promise if you have been through this, you will thrive further than you could imagine, but I'm sorry for the pain you will feel.
That's okay, Atsu. I've literally kind of died and came back. I know what pain is like.
Just
I've never used a bow
remember,
before.
It's only pain. It's only pain.
You look
Pain is
over.
temporary.
You look over and you just see him, and he's like completely. His head is completely back. He's got a full stein in his hand. And he's like, goo, 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 goo. He's like drinking it in one go, like the full thing.
But I promise you will never see somebody riding a horse like him. He will teach you.
I'm worried for his horse, but okay.
I'm worried for your horse. And he moves over to Eldrin and he says, I should introduce you to your teacher. Do you see this elderly gentleman in the black robe that is smiling like he sits on a honeypot?
Yes, I see this man.
This is Abbot Sensei. He is the master of the monastery.
I see.
Well,
You
I
look over
thought...
and you just see a gentleman who's wearing these slick back black robes with like clearly white robes underneath it, and he's got slick back hair, silver, and his smile is huge. He looks very like, as the counter to the gentleman you just met, he looks very like calm, laid back, and kind of like nice, I suppose would be the word. All in all, a much nicer experience for you than it was probably for Eos.
You mentioned the color of his hair.
Mhm.
Silver,
Silver, yeah, silver.
like my hair, silver.
More like natural gray due to age. Yeah.
Okay.
But just a nice shine to it. More of a silvery tone than a dull gray.
Okay. Oh, dull gray. Oh, sorry. Okay.
Well,
I'm dull gray.
since you have a
Oh no, you're silver.
Seems to
Sorry, I was
have
just
a-
saying that his is natural gray. Sorry.
tradition to serving the gods, Abbot Sensei will also help you to find your peace within yourself and deepen the connection to your body, since your body is an antenna to receive the wills of the gods, if that makes sense. So
I understand.
they will feast and you're only allowed to eat power balls. And if you vomit, and you will vomit, and he sees anything else than power balls, I not think you're ready for this. And I'm really sorry for all the pain you will suffer from. May the candles help you. And he just leaves off. And he goes to Slate. And he says, well, I didn't get tools for you, because I think you already have the tools you need. I have the honor to introduce you to my grandma, if you wouldn't mind.
Certainly.
And he moves you over to a lady that is looking a little bit like, without any offense, more like a little bit hippie. So she has all sorts of necklaces and rings and earrings, and she has a very distinct, like almost diamond-shaped stone on her forehead. And she also looks like she has some markings that almost represents like the facial hairs of a tiger, if that makes sense. So she looks like a real artist. She looks like you would imagine an artist would look like. But obviously a little bit older lady, and you would hear Hatsu greeting her like he would bow very deep and he would say, Sakura Jiji, it's a pleasure to meet you, and thank you for the honor of taking my friend as your student for this week.
She turns in her chair and leans one arm on the table, which typically is actually a sign of disrespect, but she does it in more of a casual way. She's not trying to be disrespectful, it's just something, and she puts her hand over her face. This is him?
This is my friend Slate.
And you say he can keep up with you?
He tries, And he goes like closer and he whispers in his ear, he might be the chosen one, but he doesn't know yet. You have to help him find the future that he belongs to.
She looks you up and down, Slate, like she's preparing a prime meat, like she's like figuring out what way to go at you. She tilts her head a little bit. She reaches in to her pocket and she pulls out a small ring. You will wear this. She offers it to you.
Reach forward, take the ring.
Okay. As you put it on, looks nice. Has a nice gemstone on it. It's mostly gold band.
Well, I witnessed several occasions where his music was very inspirational, and it said a lot about him. And I think you can shape this diamond a little bit further, if you know what I mean.
She tilts her head kind of like, She's like thinking about it. Have you played a shamisen before?
Is this like a cocktail? You call it one thing, I call it something else, but when I try it, I find out that I've had it before. I don't know. Show me the instrument. I'll tell you if I can play it.
Okay. Tomorrow, 7 a.m. We live 3 doors down from Hatsu-san. You may come over and I will show you. Don't be late. Hatsu, you're sure?
Yeah. Show him all the ways.
All right. She looks at you, and then I'd say, Amadriana, you would catch it that she's kind of glimpsing towards Remington as well, and she just smirks and she's like, okay.
And he bows down again. He goes like, "Domo arigatou gozaimashita," and he kind of tries to drag Slate a little bit to the side and bows again.
She turns back, and across from her is sitting an older gentleman, and she just smiles, and he just goes,
Well, just before this all starts, I think she can show you ways that you've never seen before. It's like weaving your physical within the music, not only the magical as you used to. But I know because of what you told me as a friend from your past. I just want to say sorry if there's any pain. And don't kill her, please. Because she will kill you 10 times over.
I guess we'll see what happens at 7 a.m.
Trust me, you will learn a lot from her, and she will learn a lot from you. And I appreciate that you do this for me.
Thank you, Hatsu.
And he moves over to Amadriana, and he says, one last thing. I think you already know what your job is, right?
Who am I fighting this time?
Oh, you have to take care of Dash.
Ugh.
you look over at his empty seat.
Listen, we both
That's
know.
Lissa's job.
Yeah, but we both know that Lissa and Dash will try to get into the vault, right? So you have to take care they don't die. Because if you don't, they definitely will die. And I promise you.
Wait, so Am I trying to help them get in it, or am I trying to help them not die from trying to get in it?
Take it as you want. I just tell you, as a friend, there won't be any punishments for you if you do so. And he just walks off. We are about to see a friend in the corner, right?
Yes. Yes, let's all head over.
Adriana's just flustered.
It's like, why? Why do I get the babysitting duty?
I'd rather just fight someone.
Yeah. I thought it was going to be a fight with his mother or something. I was like fucking excited for that.
We're still open for those things.
Yeah. So once we sit down and obviously the gentleman joins us, I'm sure you're all aware of who this is.
No.
Oh, it's Remington Sensei.
It's good to see you all.
So,
Thank you for the fast delivery, by the way, Sensei.
Of course. It's important to you, so it's important to me. Right. Adriana, you wanted some privacy. He looks around the corner and he goes, very good. And he goes like this, and a dome appears around you. It's like frosted glass. You can see there's people on the other side, but all of a sudden the noise just stops. There's no more music from the band. There's no more talking. Oh, very good. So we have some privacy in here. Nobody can hear us. We can't hear them. Oh, 1 second. And he just shakes, and then he's just suddenly in different robes, and he's back to his normal self, and he's like, much better.
That's for him.
So we potentially have quite a large problem here.
What did Dash do?
This time it's not Dash.
Where is that boy?
Probably buying daggers for Alyssa. I don't know.
Sicily.
I'll find out. Yeah.
I'll find out. Her job just kicked in.
Yeah.
Right, so what seems to be the problem, Adriana?
My father is here. Not just his friends and not just his goons, but my actual father is here.
I'd love to meet him.
No, you would not.
Oh, doesn't like me.
No.
Hatsu,
She said, not. Yeah, no.
with all of the greatest respect, I don't believe this is something we should bring up to your family if we can help it, because
With all due to respect, I think if your father is here, my family knows.
good. But I'd be wary about whether they know why he's truly here. This is something I'm going to try and find out. But for the sake of transparency, I wanted to tell you that I was going to be doing this.
I mean, if you want to know it without being too obvious about it, I can ask my father if you want to.
Does your father have enough influence here that for my father to be here, he would know why?
100%. There's nobody being invited here without my father knowing.
This is my question, though, is does he actually know my father is here?
As I said, I can ask him, but I'm pretty sure if you're 100% sure that he's here, my father would know. I might not be able to tell you why he's here, but I can definitely tell you that he's here, if you want to be sure.
I know he's here. I know he's here because of who I was told by. I know it as gospel truth that he's here. Why he's here is what worries me.
I'm not 100% sure, but there was things happening before I left, and it it might be negotiations for information. Other than that, I can only say so much. A board of shogi has a lot of pieces, and my family is more in the tradition of getting to know who's playing which pieces, if that makes sense to you.
Yes. We can happily ask your father what he knows if you want. Invite him into this conversation. But on the off chance that he doesn't know, if he tries to act towards my father, this is going to go very poorly for everyone.
Well, my family is usually not about escalation, so I would doubt that he would be here without a guarantee.
Okay. If you think it's best to ask your father to be part of this conversation, Hatsu, then I will accept your...
I can only say so much. My father and my grandfather will know more about these things, for sure.
Okay. Just knowing what he's like, I'd worry about the people here. If they know why he's here or what he's doing, then that would put me a little bit at ease.
I can respect that. I think I can arrange something tomorrow when the others will have their trainings.
There's a meeting tonight. I don't know if we have that time.
Oh dear.
Well, if it's tonight, it might be the council that he's meeting.
Yes,
I could
yes.
imagine somebody else.
It's a wonderful evening. It's been a wonderful day. I have a big thing to do tomorrow with Ducky. Can we cut through the horse poop and get straight to business? Am I killing your dad or what am I doing?
Oh dear, Leo. So
It's a problem and obstacles need to be dealt with.
we can
I'm putting
always go
another name on my
around
list.
Or
You know
underneath
how fond I am of you, Eos. But I would be very surprised, and obviously I don't know Hatsu's family, but I'd be very surprised if every single person in this room against my father would be enough.
I still don't understand.
Well, I
I get
thought
on the wrong
the
boat.
same
Oh,
about
dear.
my father, but then I met
That's right.
Remington.
That's what I mean, is there's a lot of... Regardless of who would win from the outcome, there would be too much collateral damage.
Well,
Too
that's
many
what I
people
say.
have.
Usually in Saigon Otoshi, if you invite it, nobody is allowed to even cut a hair off of you, if you know what I'm saying. That's why I can guarantee that Eos doesn't have to hide.
That's a relief.
But based on the way Madriana talk about her dad, no, I love my dad and I heavily respect my father also. I wouldn't wish harm upon them. I just don't actually understand what the feeling of ill will is towards this person. If it's your father, then
Well,
sure
let
you...
me
I have no love and I have no respect for that man.
just, if
Eos,
I may
I feel that
explain.
Madriana knows more.
Aye, but I'm not getting the more. I'm getting the free trial version.
Eos, looked like you never had a real relationship with your father, hadn't you?
My real father, no. He barely spoke to me.
If fathers want you to take over a specific role, they might put you in situations that you might not enjoy for a long time until you see the greater goal. Or if I assume, like in Amy's case, the worst nightmares. So, not everybody might have a nice experience with their parents.
True, but
I can tell you in privacy, there were several times when if I would have I would have kept my father over and over.
we all want to kill each other now and then, but this
dear.
feels
Trust
like a
me.
real situation.
Then trust me, that was real.
I do trust you, Hatsu. I do. Like you welcome
I
me
think this
into
Powerball is playing mind tricks or
Hatsu?
something.
Do you know of a big blue gentleman that walks around? Seems to be known or at least feared here.
Wasn't there that guy that Wesley met on the beach?
Big blue guy. What?
I thought he was invisible.
To us, but
No, this is
Wesley
very
said I can't talk
much
to him.
a man mountain of blue skin who seemed to have everyone fearful of him. He was with my father today. Is he part of that council you talk about, or is this a hired gun?
I'm not sure, actually. Your description could represent a lot of things.
Would it be distasteful to
No.
ask your father to talk to us now?
Now that won't happen. He has a responsibility. But as you describe this person, we have to talk with my father anyway. Because that person could be somebody that would be bad if he would meet your father here. Without
This is
knowing
someone
what
known
your
to
father
you?
does, I would assume what he does if he meets that guy.
I think it's
My father is the
avoidable.
type of man that would rip your arm off because you dare take a gold piece out of his pocket.
We should definitely avoid him.
That's the kind of person my father is.
Like 50 feet,
My father's kind of the same.
100 feet.
Oh,
Why do
dear,
you think
where
I came
is
to the
Dash?
school? Yes. I wanted to get away.
Yeah. Okay. The problem, I don't think it chased you. Maybe this is circumstance. Maybe this is a thing called destiny. I don't know. How do we deal? Mariana?
First of all,
best.
we need to find out why he's here. Who he's got with him. If this person is someone that's known to Hatsu's family and known to be a problem, then that's a problem.
Might have to tell Dash because if he tries and pickpocket him, many
Might
limbs could
not
be taken.
necessarily be a problem, might be the solution of another problem.
Setting Dash in to loot this man? Okay.
I think he
No,
means the guy I was talking about.
I can't tell you right now because I have to ask for approval, but I think that was the reason why my father did send me to the college anyway. But I explain when I'm allowed to, but
Well, you do what you need to do with your father in the morning. Then, this evening, I plan to go and try to find out any information I can.
I just give me 1 second. And he puts his hand out of the bubble.
You can't. It's like a sealed bubble. You put your hand on the bubble.
And he looks at Remington.
Would you like me
Can
to
I get my...
drop the bubble?
No, just let me get my hand out for a second.
It's kind of an on-off thing.
Can you put it off for like 5 seconds?
Sure.
Such a cool bubble. How do you do this?
And he would point in the direction of Ayame, and he would make hand signs specifically that he and Ayame would know. It would be like a training partner, best buddy thingy, you know?
That part's no problem. finding her is a problem as things have changed in this room.
Great.
Standing at the hallway door is your father, with his hand on his sword, while the rest of the crowd is backing away from him, because there is a large gentleman standing there.
Fuck!
Oh dear.
I know, but we had a long rest now.
Yeah, I
You're
told you.
fucking coming with me, or you die. These are your choices, and I won't stop with you. Ironclad, someone you haven't seen since session 2 or 3, is standing at the door at an impressive 9 foot tall, made mostly of metal at this point, as he is threatening that Hashirama Toshitsugu has to go with him, or he and most of the people in this room will die.
That's the. My dad's in leagues with fucking Decker.
I guess we could discuss it in the post show, but it'll have to be next week because that is the end of this session and the stream for today. We went way over.
Fuck.
But we'll pick up from there next
We are in
week.
shit if my
I'm
dad's
just
in
kidding.
with Decker. Oh.
But next week we'll pick up from there, and we will find out if they will indeed have a Happy New Year. Hopefully we'll be rejoined by Keen. I want to thank you all for joining us today. I really appreciate it. We all really appreciate it. It has been one hell of a ride, and I'm looking forward to picking up from here next week. For those of you,
I'm sick next week.
for those of you watching,
I know where you live.
the podcast, or listening to the podcast, watching on YouTube or watching on Twitch, all three of you, I say goodbye to you today at this point. We will be rating all three of you. I meant all three of the sources, not all three of the people doing that. We will be back next week. We're going to be rating Orc Skull because we did get Solid used 5,000 points to guide our raid, so we shall be guided. We'll be rating Orc Skull, appropriate name, shortly. Thank you all for being with us. We hope you had a wonderful time. Please feel free to join us in the Discord, because if I didn't say it, Keen would be pissed. And I think next week we're going to be figuring out something about him eating a Carolina Reaper or something like that, because we did hit our goal. So thank you so much for being here. We love you. Thank you.
Like, follow, subscribe.
I'm scared.
Smash that.
I'm
smash,
scared.
Smash that like and subscribe button. Our raid is beginning. Thank you so much for being here. We love you. Thank you. Bye.
Send help.
Slow on a while, yeah.
Oh, let me quickly. Oh my God. There we go.
Oh dear.
Goodness.
Press that button.
Press the